Ayusin ko lang ha yung camera ko. Wait lang. Parang tabingi. Wait lang. Parang lalo akong tumabingi. So, yan. Okay, i-share ko lang sa inyo kung ano yung mga pag-uusapan natin. Open ko lang. Wait lang ha. Okay, naka-live po tayo. So, mamaya ay babatiin po natin yung mga nanonood sa atin. Okay. So, but before that, share ko lang ito. Okay, share natin. Ayan, so nakikita ninyo yung mga pag-uusapan natin. So we have art appreciation, general psychology, philosophy of man, resulting other heroes, and then society and culture. So dun sa mga nanonood po, pasensya na po kayo sa ating background. Nagpaparenovate kasi kami ng bahay. So kaya nandito ako sa kabila. And mag-focus lang po tayo doon sa mga PowerPoint presentation that will be presented for 2 hours. Ayan, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Kasi limited time lang tayo, kaya ito lang muna yung pag-uusapan natin. And balikan natin yung ating live, okay? So may sinasabi lang po si Teacher A. Ayan. And then, ano lang din po natin, so i-page lang din po natin yung mga materials, okay, na pinapresent po natin dito ay for those who are only enrolled in our review center. So if you're not yet enrolled, okay, mag-enroll po kayo. Kasi itong pinapakita ko, kukunti pa lang ito eh. I already sent a lot of materials to Teacher A. Ang dami kong sinend, okay. So na kung saan ay makakatulong. Kasi I remember when I was studying for licensure examination for teacher, napaka-effective talaga ng mga pinag-aralan namin. And then halos lahat ng review ay lumalabas naman talaga. Kaya lamang syempre, ang technique, if you wanted to pass the examination, and we are always praying kayo, okay, to be LPTs this coming September. Yun nga, hindi naman sad kung nalipat ng March kasi syempre, may mga health protocols tayo, so we have to understand the situation why okay, this happened. Diba? Kumbaga, yan naman po ay hindi dahil sinadya. So meron tayong pandemic, but September I think is the right time, okay, for us who are here to pass the licensure examination for teacher. Kasi iba rin naman talaga yung LPT. Tulad namin, kami nila Teacher A, even though we are teaching in college, okay, so licensed teachers kami, iba rin yung edge or advantage if you are a licensed teacher. Iba rin kasi yung alam mo yung principle of education, you know how to handle how to handle the students, okay, you know what classroom management means. Lalo na ngayon medyo mahirap sa part namin and even the students also yung online classes and modular classes. Okay, medyo mahirap talaga siya. Medyo matrabaho. And then there's a lot of consideration kasi Bakit nawala bigla? Ako ba yung nawala, sir, o nawala mismo lahat?
Kayo lang po, Doc.
Ako lang. Ay, sorry. Sige. Share ko ulit, no? Actually, dalawa yung naka-prepare ko ditong wifi eh. Ayan, para at least safe and sound. Okay? Kala ko, bigla tayong nawala lahat. Ako lang pala. Ayan. So again, share ko ulit. Pwede na tayo mag-start siguro, ano? So, ibabrowse lang natin at pag-uusapan natin kung ano yung mga possible na lalabas sa art appreciation. Ayan. Okay. Nakikita yung PowerPoint presentation.
Oh,
Kita?
hindi pa po nagpipresent po.
Pero ano siya? Presenting siya sa akin.
Opo.
Sharing.
Yung folder
Folder pa rin yung nakikita nyo?
po.
Wait lang. Sige. Yan. Nakita na
Yes
yung PowerPoint.
po, andyan na po.
Ayan, nandito na yung PowerPoint presentation natin. Okay, so ito yung mga usual or possible na pwedeng lumabas, okay, for general education under social science, particularly we have art appreciation. Ayan, meron tayong humanities. So, nandiyan yung ating definition. Okay? So, kasi when we say humanities, it does not only include the fine arts, but also the performing arts. Kasi ang art appreciation talaga natin, even though that is considered okay, as social science, it's specifically under okay, humanities. So tandaan ninyo yung definition ng yung sa nagmula ang salitang humanities from the Latin word humanus, meaning human, cultured, or refined. And then, so kung titingnan natin, it embraces the social sciences and the philosophy. They are connected with each other. Kaya lagi natin kinoconsider na ang art up, okay, as part of humanities. So under din siya ng, or kumbaga ay, they are directly related with, okay, social science and philosophy. Pero kung titingnan ninyo, di ba, sa iba kasing school, iba na kasi yung College of Humanities, iba yung College of Arts and Sciences, iba yung College of Social Sciences, pero kinoconsider nga natin in the board examination na art appreciation is under social science. Okay. So dito kasi pinag-aaralan talaga natin on how we can appreciate arts, ayan, to produce artworks, to dignify artists, and to value the true, the good, and the beautiful. Kasi when we say art appreciation, we are not only appreciating them. So dapat marunong din tayo mag-evaluate, diba? And then we should learn also how to be more productive or creative when it comes to arts. Kasi it could be a visual or performing. Tapos, okay, ito yung definition ng art. So tingnan din natin, tandaan din natin yung from the word arts means skills. Okay, pag sinabi natin kasi na na art, okay, that is synonymous to skill, cunning, artifice, and craft. So, at alam naman natin yung mga artists, so yung mga natural things, okay, created by God, are just converted, okay, by these artists into something, okay, beneficial to people. So meron tayong function of art. So personal or individual function, tatandaan yan. May mga sample kasi ditong lumalabas eh. Pag sinabi natin personal, for example, kung ito ay performing, like music, so may mga tao kasi na they are happy when they sing, when they compose a song, okay? Pag social function naman, halimbawa yung ating mga festahan, okay, yung mga delivery of public speaking. Pag economic naman, yan, pinagkakakitaan nila yan. Particularly yung mga magagaling nating artists na nagbebenta ng mga paintings. Okay, and then political function. So nakakagawa tayo ng something like mga tula, okay, or mga kanta patungkol sa political situation that we have, okay, particularly from the past, panahon ni Ferdinand Marcos and ni Cory Aquino, and then historical function. Kasi through art, nape-present kasi natin yung history ng Pilipinas eh. We can present the history of the Philippines through singing, okay, through painting, through architecture, so pwede rin yan. Cultural function, so we can represent or we can present okay, our culture through arts. Di ba yung ating mga cultural dances, di ba? Religious function, makikita nyo naman yung ating artwork, di ba yung ating visual art like sculpture, okay, architecture, so we can easily present, and show to people na itong mga arts na ito ay nagre-represent ng relihiyon na meron tayo. The same with physical function, di ba? Yung ating mga painting na yan, nagpapaganda ng ating kapaligiran. Ganon yung mga makikita nyong question. Aesthetic, di ba? Yung physical, by the way, halimbawa ito, yung pagkakaroon natin ng bahay using architecture as an art, di ba? Yung mga magagandang design ng mga buildings. And then kung aesthetic naman, syempre, ito yung nagpapaganda ng ating kapaligiran. Halimbawa yun sa mga flower arrangement, o kaya naman ay sa mga gardening, it's also an art. So kaya, sa functions of art, ang tatandaan nyo dito, yung mga examples na pwedeng lumabas sa exam. Okay. So meron din tayong mga art style and factors affecting art or affecting style. Style nating art style, way of presenting an artwork. Okay, affected by the following factors. Kasi nga, ang mga artists kasi, depende kung ano yung available doon sa kanilang area. Halimbawa, tulad ng geographical factors. Ayan, may sample na ganda kong binigay kasi may ganitong lumalabas sa exam. Okay, marble sculptures in Romblon. Kaya dapat alam ninyo kung ano yung mga sikat na mga material for artwork ang matatagpuan in different places, okay, of the Philippines and even in the world. Okay, another thing, wait lang. Ayaw niyang saglit lang, share ko ulit. Okay, naiintindihan? Malinaw naman, no? Hello, are you still there?
Yes, Doc.
Ayan. Ayan, so meron din tayong historical factors. So nakita natin yung mga sample. Noli and Fili, and then yung during the Hispanic rule, Les Miserables, French Revolution, magkaisa 1986 Revolution. Yung sinasabi ko kanina, no, na during the time of Marcos, okay, nilabanan ng tao, ang pamumuno ni Marcos, nabuo itong kantang magkaisa. And here we have Espolarium, Filipino oppression by the Spaniards. Kasi nga, may mga artists talaga tayo na nagbe-base sa history. They are representing or they are presenting their artworks, okay, using history. Another one, ideational factors. Di ba, yung kanya-kanyang idea, like yung Sigmund Freud. Di ba, yung mga surrealist painters, yung mga tipong they are thinking of beyond the mind, mga ganun eh. The idea of nudism, ayan, influence painters. Kasi noong nausong nudism, wala talagang kumbaga walang kahiyaan walang mali siya ang mga painters during that time. Di ba, kahit pahubad-hubad yan, that's okay. Pag sinabi natin ideational factors, yung paniniwala nila sa mga philosophers, okay, ng kanilang mga idea on how, okay, pinapakita nila sa kanilang art na I believe in Sigmund Freud, so that is why, okay, I present more on psychological, okay, ang aking artwork. I believe in Buddhism, so that's why ganito yung aking pinapresent. Kasi nga, itong mga bagay na ito ay nag-i-influence, okay, sa ating mga artists. Ayan, psychological factors. The Filipino is worth dying for by Benigno S. Aquino. Di ba, from the term psychology. Technical factors, di ba? Tingnan natin, if no brushes, painter use their hands. Different brushes produces different strokes. Kasi kung ano yung available nilang brushes, okay, yung available na materials, pagtsatsagaan nila yan. Social factors, like dito, yung ating mga indie film. Cobrador, ang pagdadalaga ni Maximo Oliveros. Ito kalimitan na encounter ito sa LET. Yung mga social factors na yan. Political factors. Ayan, yung ating Elfili and Noli. Okay, yung writers natin during the Marcos regime. Economic, di ba? Like yung mga indie film natin. Bakit ba yan ay indie film? Kumbaga kung i-compare natin yan sa mga multi-million peso film, di ba? O doon sa mga napapanood natin sa malalaking sinihan, talagang maliliit ang kanilang budget. Pero maganda rin naman, di ba? Kaya lang pag indie film talaga, ang budget ay limited lamang. Okay, at saka yun nga, may mga painters tayo na dahil they don't have enough money to buy their materials, pinagtsatsagaan nila yung mga putik, dugo ng isda. Ang daming magagaling na ganang artists in the Philippines. Ayan pa, meron tayong principle of arts. So tatandaan ninyo na pag sinabi natin principle of arts, ito yung nagpapakita why arts exist. Diba? Sabi nga, to come up with attractive artworks, artists must be governed by the 5 conventions of artistic composition. Yan, dapat may harmony or yung unity. Pag pinagsama-sama mong elemento, okay, dapat maganda ang kakalabasan. It should be a coherent whole or whole. Okay, balance, di ba? Kasama rin yan. Yung physical equilibrium natin. So dapat ay kung ikaw'y gagawa ng painting or magpipinta ka ng isang artwork, for example, kinakailangan yung laman is balance. So meron tayong bilateral, makita nyo naman, ito lumalabas din to, sinabi natin bilateral symmetry, di ba? But by the way, formal balance kasi, called as symmetrical balance because the things display symmetry or same measure. Pag bilateral, so yung right side mirrors the left side of the human body, sample yan. Then visual symmetry naman, syempre yung mga starfishes natin, yung mga round objects na may mga radii. Okay, pag informal naman, ayan, when the left and the right sides of the thing, though not identical in appearance, will still display an even distribution of weight. Kahit pa yan ay hindi hindi wala silang identity or hindi sila pare-pareho ng identity, basta yung bulk, di ba, ay balanse. Alam niyo naman yung sa artwork, pag tinignan nyo, sa kaliwa, ang dami-dami, masyadong nagka-clog or masyadong madami. Sa kabila naman, ang log-log ng spaces. Another one, tandaan nyo, rhythm. Okay. The repetitive pattern of a succession of similar or identical items. Di ba? Yung paikot-ikot dyan, yung mga bilog, mga linya. Meron din tayong proportion. Di ba? Tingnan natin yung mga artwork like sculpture. Bakit hindi pantay ang ulo? Kaya lang syempre, we have to identify. Baka kasi mamaya, kaya hindi pantay yung ulo. Doon sa kanyang sculpture, meron siyang pangalan or meron siyang title. Baka it represents something. Meron din tayong emphasis. Ano ba yung ina-emphasize natin dyan? Di ba? Kumbaga ay ano ang pinapakita natin dito? Halimbawa, isang malaking Christmas tree. 'Di ba? Malaking Christmas tree, pero anong pinapakita natin doon? Ano yung ini-emphasize natin doon? Ito ba yung star? Ito ba yung kulay? Something like that. Okay, meron din tayong genre or genres of art, visual. Alam naman natin to, no? Tatandaan ninyo, mga visual arts natin, okay, are those forms perceived by the eyes. Nandiyan ang painting, sculpture, architecture, o yung tinatawag natin spatial arts kasi nga it occupies space. Ayan, so meron tayong division of visual arts. Meron tayong topic arts. Ito ay two-dimensional. Ang halimbawa natin dito ay, kasi makikita natin ito gawa sa flat surfaces lang. Ayan, painting, drawing, sketching, commercial art, mechanical processes. Ay, yung mga mechanical processes, halimbawa, yung mga, nakakita kayo ng mga bakal na nilalagyan nila ng design, yung parang tinatatakan ng may mainit na apoy, yung apoy, okay, tapos ilalapat mo para magkaroon ng design, something like that. Computer graphics and photography. Pag plastic arts na, so meron na siyang length, width, and volume. So three-dimensional arts na siya. And yung mga three-dimensional arts natin, andito, ang dami. Sculpture, then we have architecture, landscape architecture, city planning, interior design, costume design, set design, theater design, industrial design, crafts and allied arts. So tatandaan nyo lang ha yung pagkakaiba ng graphic and plastic arts. Yan. So pangalawa, meron tayong audiovisual arts or performing arts. Siyempre ito yung na-perceive na natin, okay, by our both ears and our eyes, siyempre. Sample natin dito, music and drama. Medyo mabilis lang tayo ha kasi limited lang yung oras natin. Pero I'm hoping na you can understand kahit medyo mabilis yung ating pinag-uusapan. Wait lang, check natin yung ating live. Sorry, wait lang. Iba kasi ngayon tagsipon, pero wala namang COVID. Ayan, so check natin. Ayan. Picture A. Ayan, so may mga manonood tayo dito. Good evening din po sa lahat ng nanonood. So medyo mabilis lang po yung ating review kasi we have only limited time. Okay, then here, so meron tayong literary arts. For those presented in written mode and intended to be read. Okay. Yan yung ating mga, halimbawa yung prose natin like short stories, novels, essays, and plays, and then poetry like narrative, lyric, and dramatic poems. So meron din tayong division of art study. Kung sinabi natin aesthetics or art appreciation, okay. So ito yung subject natin, no? The science of beauty, division of art study in which student learns to admire the artist, value highly different works of art, and appreciate the role of art in society. Kaya art appreciation siya. Di ba? Kasi we are not only appreciating the artwork, Di ba? We also admire the artist, and at the same time, tinitingnan natin ano yung importansya ng arts, okay, in our society. Okay? Meron tayong art history. Anong pinag-aaralan natin dito? Yung backgrounds ng ating mga artists, yung kanilang mga masterpieces, and their significant contributions in the field of art. Meron din tayong art production. So, anong ginagawa natin dito ngayon? Tayo na tayo nag-create. Diba? Kaya lang syempre, marami sa atin yung walang talent sa art. Ako kasi wala rin akong talent dyan. Ang talent ko is more in performing arts. Okay, I can do hosting, okay, I can sing, pero yung visual arts, wala akong ganung talent. And then, syempre, meron tayong art criticism. Pag sinabi natin yung art criticism, ini-evaluate natin yung art. Nagkakaroon tayo ng pagtingin kung ito ba yung art na ito ay pwede natin i-consider na art or kalokohan lamang. Diba? Kaya lang syempre, may mga criteria tayo na isiniset for this. Ayan. So, ano yung mga elements of visual arts? Una, line. A series of connected dots. Sino gumagamit? Painters, sculptors, architects. Ginagamit kasi nila ito as springboard. Diba? Kaya makikita nyo pag sila yung naggagawa ng mga linya-linya, kumbaga ito yung pinaka-framework talaga nila. So, meron din tayong classification of lines. Yan, lumalabas din yan sa exam. So, yung mga lines natin, meron siya kanya-kanyang ibig sabihin. Pag vertical, ano yung kanyang pinapresent, represent. Yan, height or stature, poise, balance, force, and dynamism. Pag horizontal, ganun din. Meron tayo siyang pinapresent. Ayan, rest, repose, calmness, quietness, and inaction. Pag diagonal, manifest movement, action and direction. Pag straight naman, stiffness, stillness, and inactivity. So sa mga questions regarding on this, magbibigay muna sila ng kwento patungkol sa isang art and then biglang lalabas, okay, in that particular art, okay, what does vertical line, okay, presents? Di ba? May mga ganon. O present. Okay, what does, okay, a vertical line present? So yun na, dapat alam yung ibig sabihin o yung pinipresent ng bawat linya na meron tayo. Dagdagan pa natin. Meron pa tayong curve. Ayan, indicate movements that are smooth. Meron tayong repeating. Ayan yung mga succession ng ating vertical, horizontal, diagonal curve lines used to show rhythm. Contrasting, combination of vertical and horizontal. Meron tayong modified, combination ng straight, curve and curve lines or varying shapes. Meron din tayong broken or jogged. Kakatakot ito, no? It connotes chaos, confusion, violence, war, disturbance, and creates tensions. Ayan. And stuck siya. Wait lang ha, bakit siya nag-i-stuck? Yun. Okay. So meron din tayong, balikan natin. Okay, kung meron tayong line, meron tayong color. Tandaan nyo yung ating color. Ayan. So a property of an object that makes it appealing to the visual sense. Ayan. So other name for color is hue. Okay, lumalabas yan. Other name for color is hue. And by the way, nakita niyo pa ba yung PowerPoint presentation natin na wala?
Wala po, Dok.
Ayan, ibalik natin. Binalik ko na, nakikita?
Yes po, Dok, nandun.
Ayan. Ito yan, okay. So yan, also known as, okay, you also known as the name for color. And one nyo is monochromatic ang tawag. Ayan. And then kung two or more, so polychromatic. And may classification of colors tayo ha. So nakita niyo yung primary, blue, red, and yellow. Sila yung unang pinoproduce. Tapos pag kinumbine nyo yan sa iba, okay, nagpo-produce sila ng other colors, no? Teka lang. Okay. And then meron tayong secondary are green, orange, and violet kasi nga pinagsama-sama yung dalawa of combination of true primary colors. Halimbawa, balikan natin. Pag pinagsama mo yung blue and red, anong kakalabasan?
Violet.
Okay, violet. So for yan, blue plus yellow ay green. Nilagay ko na talaga yung kulay para ma-identify nyo na agad. Intermediate, okay. Red, violet, red, orange. Pinagsama ang one primary color and one secondary color. Okay. Yan, meron tayo dyan. Mga yellow, orange. Okay. May adjacent color naman tayo. Okay. Adjacent color situated next to each other in the color wheel. Yung magkakadikit, magkakatabi. Halimbawa, red and red-orange. Adjacent color yon. Okay. So, meron tayong complementary. Those colors situated opposite each other in the color wheel. So, magka-opposite ang red and green. Meron din tayong cool colors. Sila yung maganda sa mata, magandang tignan. Ayan, blue is the coolest. So, meron tayong violet din at saka green. Baka biglang itanong, among the colors, which is the coolest? Siyempre, blue tayo. Warm color naman, ayan, those colors that are striking in the eyes. Hindi siya masakit siya sa mata, pero may nire-represent kasi siya eh. Kung ang cool color ay nagre-represent ng distance, tranquility, sobriety, and restfulness, kumbaga cool, calm. Pagdating naman kay warm color, ayan, warm, vivacity, alam mo yung parang may excitement, may drive. Okay, kaya lang ano yung mga sample natin dito. Ayan. Orange and yellow, most brilliant and most cheerful. Ang red naman natin is the warmest and most exciting. Diba? Ayan. So here, ano pang meron tayo? Dami natin colors eh. Light or tints. These colors with values lower than the normal value. Ayan. Sky blue is I tint of blue. Kasi mas mataas. Diba? Okay. Ang pinag-usapan kasi natin dito ay mas mababa doon sa normal na color. Kung may blue, mas mababa ang sky blue. The same with other colors. No? Dark shades or dark or shades. Higher naman. O kung merong maroon, maroon is a shade of red. Kasi mas matingkad ang maroon kaysa kay red. Diba? And then, may rainbow or prismatic color tayo. So those colors that form a rainbow, for example, Roy J. Viv. Alam naman natin yan. Baka malimutan nyo pa. Okay, red, orange, yellow, green. Okay, blue, indigo, and violet. So, meron din tayong neutral. White is the absence of all colors, while the gray is combination of white and black is the presence of all colors. Tatandaan nyo yan. Pag walang kulay, actually puti. Pag kinumbine mo naman yung puti at itim, so gray. Kung black naman, lahat ng color ay nandiyan. Yan. Another thing is, bakit nag-i-stack yung ano ko? Pag tumatagal ako, nag-i-stack siya. Share ulit natin. Okay. So another one is texture. Diba? Masasabi natin yung artwork, kung ito ay, kung ano ang texture nito, hawakan mo. Smooth or rough ba siya? Fine or coarse? Glossy or dull? Irregular or irregular? And then, may shape din tayo. It contributes to the final form of the art. For example, yung Christmas lantern is composed of different shapes. Halimbawa naman yung Christmas tree, okay, ang shape niya ay rectangular at triangular, di ba? Ganun yun. Sinabi dating shape. Pagkatapos yung artwork, ano yung final form niya? Anong shape niya? Okay, space, area or surface occupied by the artwork. Then meron din tayong volume, amount of space occupied by an object in 3 dimensions. Di ba meron tayong length, width, and height. Then perspective. Okay, synonymous with point of view, angle of vision, or frame of reference. The point where the artist stands to view his subject as he creates his artwork. So paano natin siya titingnan? Di ba pag sinabi natin perspective, gaano kalayo, mapapansin nyo ito sa art, gaano kalayo, gaano kalapit. Di ba? Tapos pag tinignan mo yung kabuuan, ano yung pinapresent ng artwork. Okay, and then form. Okay. It refers to the overall composition of the artwork. It describes the entire shape or organization of the thing or object created. Halimbawa ay pyramid, iba pa yung shape, iba pa yung iba pa yung ating form. Kung kanina, pinag-uusapan natin sa ating shape, the final form of the artwork. Diba? Pero pag sinabi nating form, 'di ba? Kahit saan mo tingnan, ano ang pine-present niya kahit ipaikutin mo siya. 'Di ba? 'Yun yung tinitingnan natin dito. Pag pinaikot ko, pyramid pa rin. Tumingin ako sa kabila, tumingin ako sa likod, tumingin ako sa harapan, sa tagiliran, it still okay, pyramid siya. Okay. So, meron ako ditong methods of presenting the artwork. May mga sample arts ako dito para mas makita ninyo. Medyo delay sa Facebook. Ayan, realism, the method of presenting the subject as they appear in real life. Just look at the picture. Okay, by Fernando Morsolo. Ayan. Fruit pickers under the mango tree. Meron naman tayong ayan, abstractionism, drawing away from realism. So malayo siya sa katotohanan ng buhay. Meron tayong mga different methods. Distortion, mangling, elongation, cubism, and expressionism. Pakita ko yung mga sample arts. This is actually an example of distortion. Presenting the subject in a misshape form. If you enjoy, can you close the door? Ayan. Misshape, kaya distorted. Hilahin mo. Hilahin mo kayo mag-lock. Kapag naman mangling, ayan, may mga parts na cut, lacerated, mutilated, or hacked with repeated blows. Kita mo naman, ginasumot or niyupe. That's mangling. Kapag naman elongation, so tingnan natin yung mga elongated parts. Di ba yung dito mula chan pataas at saka yung legs pababa ay elongated siya, pinahaba. Yung kamay, masyadong mahaba siya. Kung titingnan mo in reality, hindi naman siya proportion talaga. And meron din tayong cubism. So it forms a cube. Let's look at this. Yung kay Tom Austria, Fisherman family. Presenting the subject with the use of cubes and other geometric figures. So meron naman tayo dito na abstract expressionism. May mga strong colors tayo makikita, uneven brush strokes. Pag sinabi natin uneven, hindi siya pare-pare yung lapat o yung pagkakapinta. May mga rough texture, and then hindi nga siya refined. Okay. Another one ay surrealism. It's beyond realism. Di ba? Pinapresent yung art kung saan ay hindi naman talaga nakikita in the real world. Kaya lang, syempre, when we say surrealism, it's part of world of dreams and fantasy. Saka nakakita ng ganang elepante. Okay. Another thing, we have symbolism. An example is UP Oblation by Guillermo Tolentino. Okay, yung mga artwork natin that symbolizes something. Okay. And meron tayong Fauvism. Okay, in the Red Room by Matisse. It's optimistic realism, no? They're using bright colors, suggesting comfort, joy, and pleasure. Di ba? Pag nakita mo siya, parang gusto mong umupo. Parang gusto mong makipagkwentuhan. Kaya siya nasabing optimistic realism. Okay, itong painting, it pertains to reality. Kaya it's very joyful. Yan. So meron tayong didism. So shocking realism naman to. Yung mga nakakatakot na itsura. Ayan, like evil in the society. Ito, famous Dada paintings in the portrait of conceptual art by Nigel Tom. Yan, shocking realism, it presenting the real life subject with the intention to shock the audience through the exposition of the evils in society. Okay.
Doc, nakamute po kayo.
Nakamute ako. Wait lang ha. Pinapatahimik lang yung pamangkin ko. For the interruption, ayan. Sabi ko kasi sa pamangkin ko, hinaan ng kanyang cellphone at narinig ko dito sa labas. Sa mga nanonood ha, okay, nood lang po kayo. Medyo mabilis lang po. James Albarote, Salomon. Okay, watching from Bara Elementary School, Layo, Dipolog City. Okay. So teacher, please post these lessons in the group after teaching. According to Yin. I cannot read the first name. Parang share na yung Yin. Ayan. Okay. Sige, meron naman tayo dito na nag-aano siya pag tumatagal ang PowerPoint. Parang nag-stop. Balik ulit natin. Okay. Pala hindi ako mag-stuck. Para no. Ayan. Stuck pa rin. Okay. Ayan, expressionism naman. So makikita natin emotional realism. Kita naman natin yung Pieta by William Adolphe Bouguereau. Di ba? Here represent. Bouguereau. Okay, is emotional realism is presenting the real object, the real life subject, which the intention to express emotions, pathos, chaos, di ba? Fear, violence, kamatayan, ayan. Sinabi natin expressionism. Kapag naman impressionism, like what this 1949 conference at night by Edward Hopper, so ano naman yung pine-present? Ito kasi nakadepende na ito sa impression talaga ng artist, no? Kaya lang, okay, so anong pinapakita dito? The effect of light on the object used in the subject. Tingnan nyo. In-emphasize dito yung mga nag-uusap, pero in-emphasize sila through the use of light. Okay. Siyempre, meron tayong futurism. Like dito yung beautiful downpour, cool Star Wars paintings. Okay, futurism is realism in the future. It is presenting a subject that relates not to present, but to the future. Malay natin, it will happen in the future, di ba? Okay, so meron tayong history of art, kaya lamang hindi ko na ito, ipe-present ko ito ng pagkakasunod-sunod, pero hindi na detailed. So, Greek period, ayan, tatandaan niyo ito. Hanapin niyo sa internet kung ano yung ibig sabihin ng Greek Golden Age o Greek Golden Age, ano yung mga sample of art na makikita natin during the Hellenistic period. Madali lang mong maghanap yan eh. Okay, and then during the Roman period, ano yung makikita natin? During the medieval period, ano yung makikita natin? Ganun din, under medieval period, early medieval period, okay, High Middle Ages, kasi during that time, ang mga leaders kasi, o yung mga pinuno ng kanilang mga empire, ay may kanya-kanyang kagustuhan when it comes to artworks. So meron lang siyang iniuutos na dapat ito yung artwork natin. The artwork should be focused on this. Pero kalimitan kasi ng mga sinaunang panahon, ang artwork ay nakafocus on religion and politics. Laging ganon. Ayan, Renaissance yan, medyo may iba na. Kasi naglabasan na dito yung mga magagaling talagang artists, like yung ating mga kompositor, yung ating mga painters, di ba? Okay. So meron tayong early Renaissance period. We have high Renaissance period. Ayan. Age of Mannerism. Ayan, nakita natin from 1530 to 1616. So, ayan, meron din tayong Baroque period. Halimbawa dito, Baroque period, ang mga makikita nyo kasi sa Baroque period, yung mga tulad ng sa architecture, yung mga bulky na mga buildings like yung simbahan. Halimbawa ng Baroque architecture in the Philippines ay yung Basilica de Taal, ang laki. Makikita nyo naman yun yung influence ng bawat period sa mga artwork na makikita natin in different places in the world. May classic period, okay, may Rococo, may kanya-kanyang sample of arts na makikita natin. Pictures lang, ma-identify nyo na kung malaharap kayo ng artwork during Baroque period, makita nyo na agad yung description. Titingnan nyo lang yung art, the description is there, it represents Baroque period for example. May Romantic period. Ayan, may Realist and Naturalist period. Meron din tayo Impressionistic period. Nakita nyo naman yung mga paintings natin kanina, yun. Diba, mga sample, like Realist and Naturalist and Impressionistic period. Meron din tayong modern period. Depende kasi kung anong nauso diba? And postmodern. Ayan, 1990 up to present. Computerized na nga yung mga artwork natin talaga kalimitan. We are now using, ano ba yung ginagamit natin ngayon? Lalo na sa architecture, sa pag-design ng mga bahay. Okay, we are more on digital, 'di ba? We are now more on digital na. Okay, and then meron tayong principles of design. So meron tayong balance. Ayan, so kanina na-discuss na rin natin ito. The distribution of the visual weight of objects, colors, texture, and space. Okay, meron din tayong emphasis. 'Di ba? Pag chinek mo yung isang artwork, ano ba yung ine-emphasize o ano yung nakakakuha ng intention mo. And then movement. Okay. So nakikita natin dito, the path is the path the viewer's eye takes through the work of art, often to focal areas. Ibig sabihin, pag tiningnan mo, 'di ba, tinitigan mo, anong itsura ng art mismo, 'di ba? Kumbaga, yung tingin mo, saan ka magsisimula, sa dulo o sa gitna. Kasi yung mga artwork, pag tiningnan mo, saan mo dapat para makita mo siya, ma-perception mo siya ng buo, saan ka mag-i-start, ano yung focal point ng titingnan mo. Okay, meron din tayong pattern. So, nandito naman, repetition of object yan. Okay, or symbol overall the work of art. Diba? Diba to? And then repetition works with pattern to make work. Okay, art sim active, parang rhythm. And then proportion, yung sizes, amounts, or number, tulad ng sinabi ko kanina sa sculpture, 'di ba? Okay, meron din tayo dito, yan, discuss na rin natin yung rhythm kanina. We have the variety, okay, in several elements. Sabi, variety is the use of several elements of design to hold the viewer's attention and to guide the viewer's eye through around, okay, work of art. Kalimitan kasi na makita natin sa variety, iba't ibang lines, iba't ibang objects, iba't ibang emphasis. And yan, so meron tayong painting. So yan. And then here, pag sinabi natin painting, ano ba yung pinaglalagay natin dito? Kasi there are too many elements pag tayo ay mag-paint. And then marami tayong pwedeng paglagyan, like wood, metal, canvas, okay, plastic, paper, glass, wall, or even the body of man. And here, okay, may subjects of the painting po tayo. Ayan. Some of the main subject, still life, ayan. A collection of inanimate objects arranged together in a specific way. Wait lang. Di ba ano yung mga sample ng still life natin? Tingnan ninyo. Yung mga nakita natin, may mga nakikita tayo mga painting. Sila talagang still life, a collection of inanimate objects arranged together in a specific way. Halimbawa, pag may mga picture tayo ng mga kape, di ba? Tapos may katabi siyang mga notebook and ballpen or lapis. Seems like that. Meron tayong ini-emphasize na na mga ginagawa natin every day. Ang landscape naman natin, ayan, mountains, cliffs, rivers, nature. So, kita naman natin kung anong pinapresent natin dyan. Specific natural elements, portraiture. Tao, animal, okay, portrait. Abstract, non-representational work of art, tulad ng kanina, yung mga pinakita natin, mga didactism, okay, didactism, and ano pang meron tayo kanina, mangling. Okay, so ano yung mga major, pag sinabi natin yung medium of the painting, ito yung ginagamit natin na pampinta. Where we using una, meron tayong watercolor, di ba? Marunong naman tayong gumamit ng watercolor, meron tayong fresco, di ba? Italian for fresco, ito ay be seen on walls and ceiling. The word fresco came from the Italian word fresco or fresh. Makita mo rin kasi kung ano yung medium na ginagamit, 'di ba? Saan ba natin siya ilalagay? Saan ba natin siya ipipaint? Tulad nga ng fresco, makikita natin yan sa mga wall. 'Di ba pag sinabing ay may painting tayo sa wall, so usual fresco talaga 'yon, ang mga ceiling. Okay, pag tempera naman, anong ginagamit natin dito? Ayan, it's a permanent fast-drying painting medium consisting of colored pigment mixed with water or soluble binder. Tempera paints dries rapidly and it allows a great precision. Yung mga Egyptian painting, yung matitingkad, yun ang ginagamit nila para siyang medyo sticky. Pag pastel naman, ayan. So pastels, the hard pastels and the pastel pencils, ginagamit natin yan sa paper. Itong tempera kasi pwede yung gamitin din sa mga walls. Okay? And then, may mga, ito nga yung kanina yung pastel natin. Some pastels are the most widely used. It has higher portion of pigments and less binder. Hard pastel, okay, higher portion of binder and less pigment. Ibig sabihin yung pagkakadikit, di ba, sa papel pag ginamit natin siya. Okay. And encaustic, wax color, di ba? Takes with the heat used in portraits. Makita niyo yung matitingkad. Wax, sliding wax, matingkad siya. Oil, gumagamit din tayo. Glossy, dry, slowly but lasts long. Okay, matagal siyang matuyo. Acrylic, ayan, isa pa drying paint. Okay, and then mosaic, small pieces of colored stone or glass glued on surface with plaster or cement. In order for you to be familiarized with this, okay, ang pinakamaganda niyong gawin, i-check ninyo yung mga sample nito, like for example, punta kayo sa Yahoo, i-search nyo lang, ano ba yung encaustic? So what is an example nito? Image ang hahanapin nyo para makita ninyo. Kasi nga, through image kasi, mas maiintindihan natin yung ano ba yung oil, ano ba yung acrylic painting, ano ba yung mosaic. Alam natin yung mosaic, kalimitan sa mga simbahan yan eh. 'Di ba? Makikita niyo yung mga likod ng simbahan, yung salamin ng simbahan, 'di ba? It's a mosaic. 'Di ba? Yung para siyang puzzle. Okay. Tapestry, okay. Our fabrics which color designs are woven in a pattern. Ayan. Para tayo dito ng gaganchilyo. Printmaking, a graphic image that results from the application of multiplying process. Okay, print na. Talagang print na literal. Photography, the art of practice of taking or processing photographs. Okay, ano pa ba? Meron tayong styles in painting. Ayan. Tandaan nyo lang. Realistic or naturalistic. Impressionism, tulad ng meron tayo kanina. The same with expressionism. Modernistic, it represents the modern world. Cubism kanina din, yung sa Fisherman. Yung surrealism natin, ito yung beyond, okay, the reality. Yung kanina, hello? Yung parang kanina na meron tayong elepante na merong yung instrument. Pop art naman, ayan, arts drawn from ads, movie, billboards, comic strips, and caricature. Kung sabi, ano example ng pop arts? Yan, mga advertisement. Kalimitan lumalabas yung pop art. Okay, lumalabas yung pop art sa ating tawag natin dito, lumalabas yung pop art sa exam and kalimitan nga, ito yung mga tinatanong or hinahanap nilang example. Diba? Ayan. So, wait lang. Ayan, may nagsabi dito, si Boas Motumbo, and voice is boring. Okay lang. Baka hindi mo ka naiintindihan yung pinag-uusapan. I do not know ano yata to foreigner. That's okay. Pero it's too hard to make a review more energetic or dynamic kasi we have only limited time eh. Kung ang review natin for general education will take around 8 hours, you can do a lot of things. But since we only have 2 hours, kaya medyo ini-scan lang natin siya. Okay. So, sino-sino yung greatest Filipino painters? Tatandaan nyo, ito yung usual na naglalabasan. Tapos, meron silang kanya-kanyang, kumbaga, they are known on their own masterpieces. Like Juan Luna, pag sinabing Espolarium, ay, lagi yan lumalabas, Juan Luna. Pag assassination of Governor Bustamante, Perez Resurrection Hidalgo, nasusunog ang Maynila in market scene, Fernando Amorsolo. Si Fernando Amorsolo kasi kilala siya sa pagpe-present ng painting niya na masyadong realistic. Diba? Kung ano yung mga nakikita niya lang in real life, yun lang yung kanyang pinapresent. Si Carlos, Botong Francisco, Pagfiesta. Vicente Manansala, Madonna of the Slums. May mga din, ang gaganda ng mga painting nila, you can search. Sabagay, wala naman kasing mga sample painting talaga na picture sa exam. Kaya lang ang hinahanap nila kasi kung sino yung gumawa. Napoleon Abueva, rice planter. Ayan. Mauro Malang, Amerikano at Hapon Sanayon. Okay, Danilo Delena, Turumba sa Paki. Alam niyo yung Turumba sa Paki, yung simbahan. Sikat yan. Boy Masculino, Migranting Manggagawa. Okay, it should be Manggagawa. Bobby Valenzuela, Yes, the Filipino. Imelda Cahipe, Indaya, Filipina DH. Ang lagay ko kasi dito ng mga sample painting nila, yung mga known talaga. Kumbaga, yung tipo na mabanggit mo pa lang yung painting, alam mo na kung sino ang gumawa. Sculpture. Ayan, the art of adding or subtracting to any material to form a new design, object, project, or concept. Pag sculpture, hindi lang tayo nagbabawas ha, kasi depende yon. Halimbawa, kung ikaw ay, pag sinabi natin sculpture, hindi lang yung simento, i-design natin, yung ice, i-design natin, hindi. Pwede rin tayo magdagdag kasi may mga paper mache tayo na ginagawa. Di ba? Pwede rin tayo gumawa ng sculpture, gamit lang yung mga metal, di ba? Nagdadagdag din tayo. Kaya adding or subtracting yan. And then, ito yung mga medium na ginagamit natin. Ayan. So, meron tayong stone, granite, marble, wood, jade, ivory, a lot. Metal, brass, gold, lead, aluminum, clay, plastic, bronze, and copper. Di ba? Basta pwedeng idagdag, pwedeng pagsamasamahin, pwedeng bawasin. Marami tayong medium of sculpture. Okay. So, here, ano yung mga techniques natin in sculpture? Additive, ito nga yung nagdadagdag po tayo. Pottery, paper mache, modeling, molding, assemblage, and construction. Sa mga assemblage and construction, nag-aano na tayo dito, nagwe-welding na tayo eh. Sa modeling naman, and molding, almost the same naman sila pareho. Kalimitan ng ginagamit natin ito, mga clay. Paper mache, syempre, papel. Pottery, clay din lang naman ang ginagamit natin dyan. Okay, meron tayong casting pa na tinatawag. Mga hollow. Diba? Tapos lalagay natin sa isang naka-shape na bagay. Pag negative, a mold hollow which the liquefied casting material is for. Okay, the copy of reproduction derived from a negative ready for hardening. Okay. So yung isa ay pag sinabi nating casting, di negative tayo. Ayan. Pag negative tayo, di ba meron tayong paglalagyan. Tapos pag positive, doon na natin siya patitigasin. Yung lalagay. Kung bagay yun yung ilalagay natin sa loob. Meron tayong welding. Okay, meron tayong mobile and sculpture works that moves in with sounds. And then meron tayong mga body forms. Okay, minsan ng bust lang. Okay, subtractive, ayan. Mga sikat, wood carving in Paiti, Laguna, furniture making in Betis, Pampanga, ethnic carving in Baguio. Kalimutan din natanong to. Di ba? Ano yung mga sikat na artwork in different places? Siyempre, pag mga sculpture, anong ginagawa ng wood carving, by the way, anong ginagawa ng Paiti, Laguna? Di ba? Yung balisong nga dito sa amin sa Batangas eh. Pero ang balisong ano ba yon? Ano bang art yon? Pag titingnan nyo, it's metal art kasi yun eh. Di ba? Mechanical art kasi yon pag gagawa ka ng mga balisong. Okay. And so ito yung mga greatest Filipino sculptors natin. Tandaan niyo yung kanilang mga ginawa. Like Alan Cosio, Tumanga 1977, David Vidalia, Bubble Machine, Lamberto Hechanova, Man and Woman, Edgar Doctor, Torso Construction. Ayan. Sa casting naman, like Sari Manok, ayan, Abdul Marie Imaw, and then Eduardo Castrillo, Pieta, 1969, Spirit of Pinaglaban, 1974. Tandaan nyo lang yung artwork nila kasi usual alabas talaga yan. Welding, Solomon Safred, Penitencia, 1982, and Tikbalang, Arturo Los, okay, Mick, 1970, and Table Sculpture, 1991. Mobile naman, Eduardo Castillo, Chrome and Plexi, Ramon Orlina, Metal Wind Chimes, and Kaido Marble Dust Polymer. Body forms, ayan, Guillermo Tolentino, di ba? Mga half body, at saka yung sa UP, and Napoleon Abueva. Wait. So, bigla akong sinipon kanina. And Napoleon Abueva, Rice Planters, 1952, and Kagampan, 1991. Sa bagay, pagdating kasi sa art appreciation, more on, ano to eh, remembering eh. Diba? So, dapat alam natin yung mga artists and saan sila expert and then yung kanilang mga art, yung kanilang mga masterpieces. Okay. And here, wait lang po. Okay. Tuloy natin. So, share natin. Nawawala ako pag nagtatagal. Architecture. So, alam naman natin yan. Diba? Constructing buildings and structure to answer the functional demands of man. Ayan, style and designs, depende. Depende kasi yon. So, halimbawa in Japan, bakit yung kanilang mga tinitirhan, particularly yung kanilang mga residential houses, bakit puro kahoy lang and light materials. Tingnan nyo naman, lagi kasi siyang lumilindol. Then sa Pilipinas, bakit bahay na bato ang meron in Batanes? Kasi lagi naman siyang bumabagyo. May mga ganong situational na question. So for example, what is the reason why Ibatan people are having bahay na bato? 'Di ba? Kasi nga depende rin kung ano yung kanilang mga na-experience. It depends on climate, geographical location, aspects of life, social, political, economical, spiritual, ideological, and technological. Kaya dapat familiar kayo sa iba't ibang lugar sa Pilipinas. 'Di ba? Lalo na sa mga parteng Mindanao na may mga bahay na mga nakalutang doon sa mga tubig. 'Di ba? Kasi nga you have to consider their situation. Ito yung mga ginagamit nating materials. Ayan, yung mga mortar construction. Ayan, cement, sand, gravel, and rocks. Tandaan nyo ha, yung mga materials used. Kasi alam naman natin, kaya lang minsan, hindi natin alam kung ano yung category. Tulad ng cement, sand, gravel, and rocks, mortar construction pala yon. Pagdating naman sa wood, organic materials pala yon. 'Di ba? Pagdating kay hybrid material, syempre, yung mga pinag-eksperimentohan, adobe, bricks, tiles, marbles, granite, 'di ba? Okay. Yung mga long span, oven baked Jacinto steel, yung matitibay ng mga bakal, yung pala yon. 'Di ba? Pag hybrid kasi pinagsama-sama yung semento, bato, bubog, 'di ba? Yung pala ang tawag doon. Alam natin na ginagamit yun for architecture, pero sa exam kasi, minsan hinahanap nila anong category or anong group kasama ang ganitong mga materials na ginagamit in painting, in architecture. Ayan, meron pa tayong reinforced bars. 'Di ba? Di 6, di 8, di 10, yung malalaking mga bar na metal. Synthetic materials, plastic, glass, and aluminum. High-tech steel for skeleton support. 'Di ba? Yung malalaking bakal talaga na ginagamit sa malalaking construction. Ayan. So, ano yung influences on Philippine architecture? Southeast Asian influence. Tingnan na lang natin itong mga ito. Yung mga bahay natin na bahay kubo, tingnan nyo na lang. Yung mga mosque natin, 'di ba? Yung paggamit natin ng mga kapis, plastic and glass. Meron din tayo Spanish, 'di ba? European architecture, yung mga bahay na bato natin, tingnan nyo yung mga bahay ni Rizal. Okay. Yung mga Gothic styles, yung mga pointed art. Ayan, Baroque styles, yun nga, binigay ko dito na sample ay yung sa Taal, di ba? And then Basilica di Taal, and then yung bahay na bato din is actually a Baroque Baroque style, kasi masyadong bulky ang mga bahay na bato. And then American influence, yan, yung meron tayo dito. Yung may decoration, art, nouveau, neoclassic, and modern. Tingnan na lang natin yung mga classical columns nila, yung mga Doric, Ionic, Tuscan, Corinthian. Okay, makita niyo yan sa mga government structures. Marcos regime, ayan. 'Di ba? Modernism, massive and monumental architecture. PICC, CCP, yan, yung lahat ng pinagawa during ng panahon ni Marcos, ito ay dalakatatak sa kanya. Gusto niya kasi yung mga malalakihan, modern tingnan, 'di ba? Tsaka yung mga pag nagpagawa kasi si Marcos noon, gusto niya madalian para magamit na agad. Marcos is known when it comes to architecture kasi nga ang dami niyang ipinagawa in the Philippines. Sabagay, 21 years is too long. Okay, para marami kang magawa talaga. Another thing, modern use of technology. Yan, paggagamit ng mga AutoCADs, 'di ba? Okay. Okay. So, medyo sinisipan ako ng konti. Pasensya na sa mga nanonood. Ayan. Ang hirap na may sipon. Ayan. This is informative session. Thank you. Although nagmamadali talaga tayo. Vertical expansion, no? Yung mga high-rising building, like yung mga 5-star hotels, mga malls, okay, parking, medical offices, malalaki in Makati, you go to Makati, you go to QC, you go to Taguig, makita niyo yung mga vertical expansion. Another thing, okay, ito naman yung mga greatest Filipino architects. So, pasensya na ha, medyo sinisipon talaga ako. Ayan. Medyo tumulo na nga ng laki kasi ng aking ilong. Juan Nakpil, Rizal Shrine, tandaan niyo kung sino siya. Juan Arellano, Manila Post Office. Yan, mga known. Metropolitan Theater, Jose Manosa, San Miguel Corporation, Ortigas, San Juan City. Francisco Manosa, Coconut Palace in Our Lady of EDSA. Thomas Mapua, De La Salle University, CEU and PGA Nurses Home. Leandro Locsin, National Artist in Modern Architecture. Tandaan niyo lang din kung ano yung kanilang mga masterpieces. Diba? Ano ang focus ng Southeast Asian art? Ayan, so more on nature. Diba? Yan, nature and mechanics of the transfer of European conventions and models into colonial Southeast Asia in the 19th century. The development of the genre of landscape painting in early 20th century. Okay. The Nanyang regionalism sa China. The presence of Japanese World War. Kawawa nga tayo ng World War II. Ang dami kasing nasira. Okay. And ano pa ba? The development of social realist. Mga activist. Ayan, tapos nag-proliferate na rin yung mga abstraction codes. Ayan, yung mga market sophistication ng artwork. Kasi noon naging in-demand na eh. Yung mga artists natin kasi nga they're earning much. Then tradition as an open and evolving category used in modern art. Okay. Sige, yung mga tradition ina-express din natin sa ating modern art. May classification of Asian works. Okay, beginnings. So meron tayong mga sample dito. More on sa church. Communities naman. Okay. And then, traditions. Ayan. Meron din tayong portraits. So makita nyo naman dyan yung mga hiniram natin from European. Projection of the powerful muse and artist genius. Diba nakita natin ng mga Madonna. Figures and spaces. Ayan yung mga impressionism using the light. Fauvism. Using exciting colors. Art of the people, okay, yan. Yung mga pagiging social realism and activism, particularly in political participation. Yung art of the people kasi it happened during Marcos time talaga. Diba? They really wanted Marcos to be ousted in the office and then mga tula, mga kanta against Marcos. Kaya lang yung art of for the people, actually it happens pa during the French Revolution. Ang tagal-tagal na yan, during the French Revolution pa yan. Inadapt na lang din ng mga sumunod na panahon. Ayan. So, medyo mabilis, no? Kasi imagine, doon pa lang ang tagal na agad natin. So, kaya bibilisan pa natin. So, next, by the way, check naman natin yung general psychology, yung usual na lumalabas. Ayan. Ang bilis ng ano, ang bilis kasi ng 2 hours eh. Ang hirap mag-discuss ng sobrang bilis. Okay, for general psychology, ayan, so the definition is the study of behavior and cognitive processes. Ayan, so tandaan nyo na lang yung mga non-personality psychology. Wilhelm Wundt. Siya yung unang founded the first psychological lab in 1879 at Leipzig in Germany. Nalabas yan. Diba? And then, yung meaning ng introspection, lumalabas din yan. The process of observing the operations of one's own mind with a view discovering the laws that govern the mind. Diba? Yung tipong, kasi pag sinabi natin introspection, okay, when we perceive things, nakita natin, tapos siya ay pinoprocess ng ating isipan, tapos ini-interpret natin siya, something like that. Ayan, Edward Teixeira, so ano ang kanya? Ayan. The idea of structuralism to the United States. Yung anatomy of mind, sikat na sikat siya dyan. Ayan, structuralism, ina-analyze niya yung adult mind. Sa bagay, ang ina-analyze kasi nito ay as we grow older, okay, why our thinking become more complex. Pag sinabi natin structuralism. Sino pa yung mga sikat? William James, the first American psychologist. He was more interested in how the mind functions. It's more informative to ha sa psychology sa nakikita natin ngayon. John Watson, ayan, you can see the mind, so how can you study it? All we can see is observable behavior and that is what psychology should study. Hindi tunay na nakakabasa ang mga psychologists or even psychometrician ng utak ng tao. So, ang interpretation nila, kung bakit ganun ka kumilos, ganun ka interpretation ng personality mo, kung bakit ganyan ka kumilos, ganun ka magsalita, okay. ganun ka mag-present ng sarili mo sa ibang tao kasi nga tinitingnan nila ang behavior mo, observable behavior. Ayan. So kilala dyan si Burroughs Frederick Skinner. Okay, si Mary Calkins naman, the first woman to make a career in psychology. Tandaan niyo yung mga known personalities, okay, in psychology, kasi lumalabas siya, sorry. Lumalabas talaga siya. Kaya lang, dahil nga sa prejudices, okay, against women, hindi niya natapos ang kanyang, hindi siya nagkaroon ng doctorate. Ayan. The first woman psychologist, lalabis ng S. Ayusin nga natin to para pagbigay ko sa inyo. Okay. So the first woman psychologist, a PhD, si Margaret Washburn. Ayan. Tandaan niyo lang sila. Okay. Sorry for my sipon. Okay. Bakit kaya lalo ko sinisipon? Modern approaches to psychology. Okay, cognitive perspective. So, cognition means thinking. Bakit ganito tayo mag-isip? Diba? Kaya lang kasi yung iniisip nga natin, ito ay makikita through our actions. Sabagay, ganito naman ang tao. Psychological perspective. Our brain is complex biochemical organ that affects how we think and how we behave. Diba? May mga biological organs tayo, biochemical organs tayo na mga tumatakbo sa ating mga neurons kung bakit tayo ay ganito. Sociocultural perspective. So yung ating behavior ay influence ng social and cultural factors. Okay. Kung psychodynamic perspective naman, so syempre kay Sigmund Freud. Diba? Kasi yung mga uncontrolled, unconscious, okay, motivation controlled by or controlled behavior. Alam naman natin yung psychoanalytical theory ni Sigmund Freud, lagi yung lumalabas sa exam, yung kay Sigmund Freud. Behavioral perspective, okay, probably the most dominant perspective today. Kasi nga, as I told you earlier, hindi naman kasi talaga binabasa ng mga psychologists ang inyong isipan, so that's depend upon your behavior. Ayan. So yan, baka malito kayo, psychometrician versus psychologist versus psychiatrist. Kasi ang psychometrician, sila yung mga graduate ng 4 na taon ng psychology, so they can take the board to become psychometrician. But if they already finished their psychology, their master's degree, pwede na silang mag-exam. Pwede nga, kasi nung lumabas kasi yung exam for psychology, psychometrician and psychologist, marami na noon kasi yung graduate ng master's degree. So, nasakop sila ng grandfather's law. So that's why, kung ikaw ay merong around, I think parang 5 years, na ikaw ay nagpa-practice ng profession, kung ikaw ay tapos ng psychology pa lamang, matik psychometrician ka. Pero kung ikaw tapos na ng master's degree mo, so sabay na yon. Ang psychiatrist naman, ito naman ay medical doctor na rin ito. So that's higher, syempre. Mas mataas ang psychiatrist, followed by psychologist, and then psychometrician. Yung ba kasi nalilito? Baka hindi nila alam. Ayan, degrees in psychology, bachelor's degree in psychology, pwedeng BS, pwedeng AB. Ang BS kasi more on science, ang AB is more on people. Master's degree, pwedeng MS, MA, ganun din, parang BS, AB, and then may diretsong MSci or Master in Psychology. Meron ding doctorate, may PhD, merong PsyD or diretsong doctorate ng psychology. Ayan, just for information. Okay. So different fields of psychology, clinical, from the word itself. Ito yung makikita natin sa mga nag-a-assess, di ba? Yung mga nagbibigay ng mga psychological tests. Sa counseling naman, counseling psychology. Okay, ito yung mga nasa okay, yung may mga mental disorders, tinutulungan nila. And then, kalimitan sa guidance din. The same with school psychology naman. Diba, kalimitan sa mga, may 3 kasi itong applied areas eh. Okay, they diagnose and treat children with learning, behavioral, and emotional problems with an emphasis on the school environment. And then, meron tayong developmental psychology. They study how people change physically, cognitively, socially over the lifespan. As we grow older, paano na-develop ito in different area ng pagkatao natin. Educational psychology, okay, from the word itself, mga psychological principles in an educational environment. They are different from school psychologists because they generally do not work with individual children, but focus more on instruction and techniques. They are teaching. Yung ating kasing school psychology, sila yung mga nagtumitingin sa mga bata when it comes to their development. If they have problem, okay, related to school, sila ang bahala doon. Cognitive psychology, their focus is on thinking, reasoning, language, and decision making. Industrial or organizational psychology, syempre, when it comes to sa work naman, yung mga HR natin. Psychobiology, okay. Tinatawag yung physiological psychology. So they are interested in the brain and how it works. Social psychology, okay, social behavior. Yung tipo na how your behavior affects, okay, people around you. Maganda itong kung ikaw ay may knowledge sa social psychology, you can easily adjust with, okay, different kinds of people. 'Di ba? Alam mo yung lalo na alam mo kung paano mo i-monitor ang sarili mo, kahit na maraming naiinis sa'yo, nagpaparinig sa'yo, but if you know how to monitor oneself as you learn social psychology, you can easily adjust with them. Experimental, ayan, yung mga nag-experiment naman, na gumagamit ng mga laboratory, okay, it's experimental psychology. So here, okay, ano pa ba? Ba't mabilis naman ang oras natin? Okay. Sabi ko sa inyo, scan lang to kasi napaka-ikli ng ating oras. Okay. Wait lang. Nawawala ako pag nawawala kasi siya. Pag na-stuck ako ng matagal sa sa PowerPoint presentation. Okay, there are three major philosophical issues in psychology. Yan, free will versus determinism. Is our behavior predetermined or for us to do, or do we have a say in it? Kasi pag sinabi natin predetermined, yung tipo na parang nakatadhana na siya. Diba? Kaya sabi, is our behavior predetermined for us or do we have a say in it? Diba? Free will versus determinism. Kasi when we say predetermined, baka mamaya kaya ka kumikilos ng ganito kasi nakatadhana na siya. O ikaw mismo yung kumukontrol. Diba sa behavior na meron ka. Another one, the mind-body problem. Is the mind separate, synchronous or related to body or physical? Diba? The psychological or the physical, are they real? Kumbaga, kung titingnan natin the question, the mind-body problem. Bakit ba yung utak natin nasunod yung ating katawan? O yung katawan ba natin ang sumusunod sa ating isipan? Something like that, no? And the roots are in philosophy, but a number of early psychologists studied this problem. Anong ibig sabihin? Diba? Kasi may mga other explanation aside from psychology eh. Diba? Meron silang kanya-kanyang, minsan hindi rin, ayan, is behavior, okay? Kumbaga, ang ibig kong sabihin dito, kasi dito, ayan, the roots are in philosophy, but a number of early psychologists studied this problem. Kumbaga, ang mga nag-explain kasi dito sa dalawa pang ito, tatlo kasi ito, dito sa dalawa, ang nag-explain kasi nito ay mga philosopher. Pero, may mga psychologists na nag-explain na rin yan. Number 3 is behavior due to heredity or environmental influences. A number of evidence goes both way. Ito ba ay namamana o ito ba ay dahil nakikita lang natin sa ating nature or we are affected or influenced by the nature? Diba? Yun ang usapan dito. Okay. So, tuloy natin. Ano yung mga methods na ginagamit in psychology? Systematic research, no? Pag sinabi natin systematic research, okay, we're using scientific researches, naturalistic observations, okay, observation lang talaga. Case study, so we focus on one variable in psychology. And then surveys, and then i-correlate natin ng mga kanilang age ay mayroong relation sa kanilang behavior, di ba? Ganun yung mga pinaggagawa nila dito. Biological basis of behavior, influence of body on behavior. Di ba? Natural daw yan eh. Sabi nila na dinidiktahan ng katawan ang ating gagawin. Brains controls personality and behavior. Di ba? Ano ba naman to sipon ko? Pasensya na talaga. Sumabay pa sa review. Okay, the brain controls all aspects of our behavior. Principles of heredity. Kasi pag sinabi natin biological base of behavior, ina-explain kasi natin ang behavior ng tao through the lens or context of biology. Di ba? Minsan, meron kasi nga yung may mga halimbawa ay tawag dito, sinabi natin yung biological base of behavior. Yun nga, ina-explain. Okay natin, why do people behave in different ways? Okay, through the lens of biology. Ano pa? Sensation and perception. Ano ba yung ibig sabihin natin dito? Pag sinabi natin sensation, using our senses. Di ba? Nakikita natin ang mga bagay-bagay using our senses. Pag perception na, doon na natin siya ini-interpret. Di ba? May narinig ka, maingay. So, that is sensation. Pero pag sinabi mo, ay may pusa, that is perception. Di ba? Okay, so may mga phobias tayo ha. Tandaan nyo to, lumalabas na sa exam. Most common phobias. And acrophobia, fear of high places. Agoraphobia, fear of open places. Claustrophobia, okay, fear of closed places. Genophobia, fear of women. Hydrophobia, fear of water. Mysophobia, fear of dirt. Ophidiophobia, fear of non-poisonous snakes. Ang dami, no? Ayan pa, may other fairly common phobias pa. Baka may fear of cats kayo. Ailurophobia kayo. Fear of pain. Algophobia. Dami. Tandaan nyo lang itong mga phobia na ito. Okay, sa bagay mga phobia naman yan related doon sa kung ano yung phobia, yung pangalan mismo. O, tulad ng fear of blood, di ba? Hematophobia. Ayan, yan. Sino yung fear of being alone? Ayan, tulad tomorrow, Valentine's Day na. Baka meron kayong monophobia. Diba? May mga monophobia dyan. Ayan, on nyctophobia, fear of darkness. Oculophobia, fear of crowds. Patophobia, fear of disease. Ayan. Kaya mapapansin ninyo, yung mga phobia na ito ay parang other names lang doon sa kinatatakutan natin. Ito mo, xenophobia, fear of strangers. So, phobia, di ba? The zoology. Tapos, fear of animals or specific animal. Okay. So, ano pa? More exotic phobias. Ayan, nakakatakot. Hematophobia, fear of vomiting. Enosophobia, fear of committing an unpardonable sin. Then we have entomophobia, fear of insects. Yan, more exotic. Mas ano siya, mas kakaiba. Ayan, baka meron kayong fear of work, ergosiophobia. Ayan pa. Then, erythrophobia, fear of blushing in public. Gamophobia, fear of yung mga takot mag-asawa, fear of marriage. Ayan, ang dami. Okay. So, bigay ko na to sa inyo, itong mga phobias na ito. And let's talk about social psychology. Ayan. It's the science that studies the influence of our situations, paying special attention to how we view and affect one another. Also how people think, influence, and relate to one another. Diba yung iyong behavior, how can it affect other people? Kasi when we say social psychology, so what is the effect of your behavior towards others? Ayan. So, sabi nila, we construct our social reality. Ito yung mga ideas ng social psychology. And then social intuitions are powerful and sometimes perilous. Kasi minsan yung mga iniisip natin sa kapwa natin, baka hindi naman totoo. And then, syempre, our behavior is shaped by our attitude and social influences. Pag sinabi kasi nating attitude, it could be manifested through our behavior. Kasi kung anong iniisip mo, yun yung attitude mo eh. Kaya lang ang tanong kasi, paano siya nakikita? Hindi sa behavior mo. Okay, disposition shape our behavior. Kung anong pininiwalaan mo, yun naman din ang ibibehave mo. So, ganun siya. Pag sinabi natin social psychology. Feelings and actions toward people can be negative and positive. Biological behavior influences our social, yes, heredity actually. It influences our social behavior. Ito, dito tayo laging nagkakamali eh. Kasi minsan, Nagagalit tayo sa ating kapwa-tao but we do not know the reason. Kasi meron tayong tinatawag na attributions. Attributions affect the way we judge others' motives. One distinction we make is between personal and situational attributions. Di ba? Akala kasi natin ang tao ay nag-behave kasi sila na yon. Hindi natin alam na meron palang situational attributions. Mainit ang ulo, nagsisisigaw sa tawag dito, sa may-ari ng store. Akala natin masama yung ugali. Hindi natin alam, may pinagdadaanan pala yung tao. Kaya we should not judge people based on the behavior they possess. Kasi we do not know yung reason. Baka kasi mamaya, halimbawa nagda-drive, humarurot. Akala natin, balahura yung nagda-drive. And that is so, ibig sabihin, yung kanyang behavior na yon ay cause ng situation. Maliwanag. Ayan. Ito yung sinasabi ko, are made to environmental causes. Pero tatandaan nyo, ang pinaka-predictive ng ating behavior ay attitude kapag ang situational factors are weak. Kasi kung hindi ka tanggap-tanggap naman ang sitwasyon mo, diba, ibig sabihin, mas lamang pa rin yung nasa isip mo o yung iyong attitude. Kaya sabi, attitude are most predictive of behavior when situational factors are weak, and we are all guilty of being hypocrites because of our attitudes and actions. Diba? Ang galing natin mag-reason out, pero kung tutuusin, hindi naman sitwasyon talaga ang nagtutulak sa'yo sa behavior na meron ka, kundi it's your attitude. That is what you have in your minds or in your mind. Okay. Ito yun, the self in the social world. Tandaan nyo ito, yung mga spotlight effect. Yung binibigyan natin ng atensyon, yung mga tao na may mga itsura. Yeah, like here. They like Piolo Pascual because of his good-looking appearance. Kaya nakikita natin sa Facebook, may mga nagpo-post na kung gwapo sana ako, di sana maraming pumapansin sa akin, which is true. That is a spotlight effect. Hindi napapansin masyado ang sabihin natin, kung hindi ka gwapo, hindi ka maganda, hindi ka talaga papansinin sa social media. Kasi nga people are looking for others, okay, unang-una, itsura or appearance. Diba? Totoo naman yon, spotlight effect. Okay? Another one, illusion of transparency. Diba? Makikita mo or nagli-leak out ang emosyon ng isang tao depende sa kanilang kilos. Yan yung example ko dito. If a student had an assignment due in class and did not prepare as well as they should have, the student may start to panic and think that simply because they did not prepare well, the teacher will know and call on them for answers. Kaya illusion of transparency because of their behavior. Meron din tayo ayan, for aspect of the self, okay, self-concept, who am I? Self-knowledge explains self, yung pinapaliwanag mo at kilala mo ang sarili mo. Self-esteem, sense of self-worth, and social self is social roles, di ba? Okay. Yan, meron din tayong social schema. Ayan, beliefs about self that organize the processing of self-relevant information. Pag sinabi natin schema, ito yung na-experience mo na before eh. Pag na-experience mo ulit, alam mo na kung anong gagawin mo. Yan, meron tayong role schema. If Joy is employed as a physician, he displays his professional role in the hospital but likely behaves differently while with his family on vacation. As observers, our expectations about how he should act differ depending on the social situation. Di ba? Depende sa role niya kung paano siya mag-a-act. Event schema naman, okay, yung kanyang behavior, okay, will be based on the depende sa event. Okay. Pwede rin naman ang kanyang behavior naman depende, okay, sa ganitong sitwasyon. Pag sinabi natin sa schema, if Mario believes that he is an outgoing and people like talking to him at parties, then he will feel obligated to modify his behavior to fit his self-schema. Di ba? Halimbawa, may nakipag-usap sa iyo, ikaw ba, ng mga trip mo, gusto ko yung lumalabas lagi. Kasi ngayon, kausap mo laging lumalabas. So ngayon, mag-a-adjust ka in that situation, magiging obligado ka, self-schema ang tawag doon. Yan, meron din tayong collective the same. Is giving priority to the goals of one's groups, defining one's identity accordingly. Botohan. Hindi ka lang bumoto kay President Duterte, pero dahil siyang nanalo, kasama ka na doon. na pinili ng sambayan ng Pilipino. Okay? Tingnan pa natin. Meron din tayong interdependent self. Yung lagi po natin inire-relate yung ating sarili sa ibang tao. Ay, kilala mo si Nancy? Tropa ko yun. Kilala mo yon, pinsan ko yon. Laging ganun, interdependent self. Planning fallacy naman, yung tipong magpaplano tayo, pero hindi naman natin siya natutupad. Ang pinapakita ko sa inyo, yung iba't ibang personality ng tao. Impact bias, yung tipong, akala mo pag biniray ka ng boyfriend mo, girlfriend mo, it takes 3 months. Pero after 2 days, okay ka na. Masyado mo na lang na-overestimate yung impact ng emotion-causing events. Binirate ka ngayon, akala mo within 3 months ka pa makaka-recover, hindi pala, impact bias ang tawag doon. Meron ding immune neglect, iba yung psychological immune system. Ganun din, parang yung kanina, akala mo hindi ka makaka-recover, di ba, doon sa mga pinagdaanan mo within 2 months or 4 months, pero kaya mo pala. Diba? Akala mo, you feel devastated kasi nawalan ka ng work. Akala mo for 4 months, gano'n na mangyayari. Pero hindi naman pala. Saglit lang pala. Ayan. So ano pa? Yan, meron kang dual attitude. Yung tipong sabi mo sa asawa mo, hindi mo na mahal. Lumayas ka na. Pero maya-maya, lumaya, sinabol mo naman. Ano ka ba talaga? Yun yung mga urong-sulong na personality. Sila yung mga dual attitude. Okay? And then, self-esteem. It's a person's overall self-evaluation or sense of self-worth. Di ba? Kung naniniwala ka na ikikapakipakinabang, mataas ang self-esteem mo. Kung hindi naman, mababa ang self-esteem mo. Yan, Martin believes that he is a bad person and feels bad about himself in general. So, hindi naman dapat. Self-esteem niya. Self-efficacy. Yung tingin mo sa sarili mo ay competent ka and effective. Locus of control naman, dalawa kasi ito, yung outcomes ng mga pinagagagawa mo. Kung ikaw ay merong, kung meron ka internal locus of control, pag ikaw nag-fail sa isang bagay, kasalanan mo yon. Pero may mga external kasi locus of control na sinisisi nila yung kanilang failure o yung kanilang pagkakamali sa ibang tao. Ayan. Learned helplessness naman, ito yung tipong hindi ka na kumikilos, hindi ka na gumagawa ng paraan kasi wala naman nangyayari sa mga bagay-bagay. Halimbawa, si Aling Rosa ay asawa si Mang Lito. Si Mang Lito walang ginawa kundi mambabae, pero lahat na ng paraan ginawa na ni Aling Rosa para lang hindi na mambabae si Mang Lito. Kaya lang, wala namang nangyari. So, hinayaan na lang niya. Kumbaga, what's the point in trying? Hinayaan na lang niya, wala rin naman siyang magagawa na eh. Ganun yung learned helplessness. Nakakala natin, wala siyang ginawa, pero sa totoo, marami siyang ginawa, kaya lang, wala namang nagawa. Wala namang nagbago. Ayun na. Ayan, self-serving bias. Para lang itong external locus of control na pag nagkamali ka, nag-fail ka, sa ibang mo isisisi. Diba? Pero pag ikaw naman ay naging successful, okay, so ginagawa mo, ikaw naman ang sa'yo lahat ng credits. Ayan, ganun din yung self-serving attributions. Okay, defensive pessimism naman, ito yung tipo na alam mo magkakamali ka pero nagpe-prepare ka. Alam mo may mangyayari hindi maganda but you are prepared. Let's say for example, if you're going to deliver a speech tomorrow and then may thinking kang baka malimutan ko yung speech ko, so ready ang iyong tawag dito, yung iyong kodigo. O kaya naman there's possibility na mabululan ka, so may dala ka ng mineral water pagpunta mo doon sa stage na ikaw ay magdi-deliver ng isang speech. Di ba? Kaya defensive pessimism. Yan, yung group serving bias, ganun din, yung tulad kanina sa external locus of control. Kapag ang grupo ninyo successful, tuwan-tuwa kayo, lahat ng credit sa inyo. Pero kapag nag-fail kayo, so ibang tao ang sinisisi ninyo. Ayan. Ang self-handicapping naman, ito yung mga halimbawa, hindi makaka-exam kasi hindi nakapag-aral, gumagawa agad ng reason. O kaya naman, wala kang ipe-present na report, okay, sa opisina, so magpapanggap ka kinabukasan na meron kang sakit. Okay. So, ano pa? Yung self-presentation naman, this is the way on how you present yourself to other people. Halimbawa, ikaw ay nangungupahan sa apartment bago kang dating. So, pinapresent mo yung sarili mo bilang maayos na ka-apartment doon sa mga taong dinatnan mo. Ano pa? Self-monitoring. Ito yung sinasabi ko kanina na para hindi ka na lang o hindi ka magkaroon ng problema at para wala kang makaaway, kahit sila yung mali, tinatanggap na lang natin. Di ba? Yung tipong kahit sabihin nilang 20 plus 20 ay 50, para walang gulo, papayag ka na lang para wala kang problema. Okay. And ano pa ba? So, levels of empirical self, okay, spiritual self una. So, ito yung ating inner self, personal perceived abilities, attitude, emotions. Okay, nandito yung mga natin ay mga conscience. Social self naman, status, background, role, and material self is body and extended self. Siyempre, body and soul. Okay? Meron tayo 8 contemporary components of the self, interpersonal. Kaya tingnan nyo siya. Pag sinabing interpersonal attribute, sino ka ba? I'm a daughter. Ascribe characteristic, babae, 19 years old. Interest activities, photography, self-determination, educational goals, existential aspects. Paano ka ba mag-exist? You're friendly and kind. Ano yung internalized beliefs mo? Okay, you believe in democracy and feminist. You are feminist and okay, you believe in democracy. Self-aware ka ba? A good person. Social differentiation. Okay, yun. Ang pagkakaiba ka with other people. Tagalog, come from small, lower class family. So yung 8 contemporary components can be understood based on the given example na naka-open close parenthesis. Ano pa ba? Okay, few of the aspects that relate development of the social self. Ayan, social identities, di ba? Kasi makikita natin yung sarili natin na we're different from people. Di ba? Social identity. Ano ba yung pinanggalingan ng pamilya? Di ba? Social comparison. Yung mga bagay na wala ka. Di ba? I-compare mo yung sarili mo sa iba. Yung success and failure mo, paano kayo judge ng tao, and then ang sarili mo and culture. So ito yung mga bagay na ito, yung masasabi natin na we're different from each other eh. Diba? Kaya few of the aspects that relate development of the social self, the roles we play. Since you are different from other people, sabihin na natin medyo malayo ka from them when it comes to social identities, you are in the lower class. So nagiging tendency because of your situation, gumagawa ka ng paraan para ikaw ay makaangat. Diba? Patusi po kong ito. Okay. So, meron tayong social thinking. How do we think about one another? Ayan. So, paano ba ito? Yan, nan pa rin tayo kay Attribution Theory. Yung kanina. Akala natin, ugali na nila yon, yung pala, kaya pala gano'n, kasi masama lang ang pakiramdam. Was my friend a jerk because she had a bad day or is just a bad person? Ganun yun eh. So, kaya we have to analyze, bakit ganun sila? Ano kayang pinagdadaanan nila? Di ba? So, bakit sila nagkakaganan? Okay. Kaya meron tayong fundamental attribution error. Nagkakamali kasi tayo kasi hindi natin inaalam yung root cause ng kanilang behavior. Lagi natin tinitira kasi masama talaga ugali niyan. Hindi natin alam, meron palang situation na nagtulak sa kanya kung bakit kailangan ay ganun siya. O kung bakit siya ganun. Ayan o, tinan nyo to. Attribution at work. Ibig sabihin, how do attribution works? Yan o, negative behavior. Pag pinairal mo ang situational attribution, tinan nyo sa situational attribution. Okay, ginamit natin ang situational attribution. Sabi natin, maybe that the driver is ill. Eh, ginamit mo yung personal attribution, crazy driver. Kapag ginamit mo ang situational attribution, mas maganda ang magiging action mo o reaction. It could be tolerant reaction. Hindi mo sasabayan. Proceed cautiously, allow driver a white bird. Pero kung unfavorable, kung gagamitin mo ay dispositional attribution, ayan, unfavorable reaction. Speed up and race past the other driver, running to give a dirty look. Kaya kung lagi mong gagamitin ang situational attribution, lagi kang magiging tolerant sa ibang tao. Di ba? Halimbawa, sinagawan ako ng guard, kung iisipin ko baka may problema, ngitian ko na lang siya. Pero kung sasabihin ko, sama naman ang ugali nito, aawayin ko yon. That is how attribution works. Okay. Ayan, the effects of attribution, social effects, political effects, and workplace. Okay. Ayan pa. Ayan. So, attitude, napagdaanan na rin natin kanina. Okay. May mga social influences pa tayo. Ano ba yung sources of social influence natin? Social institutions. Isa yan. Organized religions, political parties. And then, may share pa ako sa inyo dito. Okay. Yung social relations natin. How do we relate to others? Ayan. Faction, kita nyo naman. Conflict and prejudice, altruism and peacemaking, and then aggression. Yan yung mga social relations. Ayan, yung mga prejudice natin, yung tipo na paano ba natin, ano ba yung attitude natin towards a group of people. Kaya, kasi may prejudice kasi nga merong social inequalities. Meron kasi in group may discrimination. Okay, tapos yan, may aggression. Physical or verbal behavior intended to hurt or destroy. Biology of aggression. May mga tao aggressive, okay, maybe because of their genetics or neural influences. Diba? Meron din tayong psychology of aggression. Bakit meron tayong frustration, aggressive principle. Naging aggressive ang tao kasi nga napofrustrate sila sa mga bagay-bagay. And then, ang hot weather and aggression is also related. Ang aggression in TV, kasi what you see, okay, in the movie or in the television, ito rin yung mga tumatatak sa isipan mo na nagpapagalit sa'yo parang galing sa US. Okay. So, ayan. Ayan may mga history of mental illness tayo. Possessed by demons. Tandaan nyo na lang to. So, may medical model naman tayo through medicines na pag-aralan kung bakit may mga psychological problems. Meron din tayong mga psychodynamic perspective. Okay, kung bakit sila ganaan. It holds that mental disorders are the result of unconscious urges or impulses. Meron din behavioral perspective. Bakit may mga mental disorders? Bakit sila ganan? Okay, so, ayan. Ayan pa, mga anxiety disorders. Okay, sige. Pakitanda na lang din yung mga dissociative disorders like psychogenic amnesia, okay, multiple personality, nandito naman siya. Yung mga somatoform disorders, yan yung mga hypochondriasis, ito yung mga feeling lagi masama ang pakiramdam. Di ba? Okay. May mga sexual disorders din tayo. Yan. So, may mood disorders din. Ang haba pa kasi nito, kaya lang kailangan natin kahit papaano ay ma-discuss naman natin yung ibang subject. Okay, bibigyan ko naman kayo ng kopya yung mga enrolled, so you will be given copy of this. Okay, so let us have, kahit papaano, puntahan naman natin yung ibang subject. Philosophy of Man. Ang bilis kasi ng 2 hours talaga hindi naman talaga kakayanin lahat. I-discuss natin ito ng 2 hours. So share na lang din tayo kung ano yung mga possible na lalabas dito sa philosophy. So yung definition, syempre, lagi yung tatandaan. From the Greek words, philos, which means love, and sophia, which means wisdom. Ayan. So it's a branch of human science, laging tatandaan. And then yung branches of philosophy, lagi itong lumalabas sa exam. Logic. Ayan. Okay, from the Greek word logike, which means word or thought. The science and art of correct thinking. Cosmology, which means universe, a study of the universe or the physical world. By the way, yung different branches of philosophy, lagi talaga siyang lumalabas, okay, sa exam. Kaya tatandaan ninyo kung anong ibig sabihin ng mga yan. Wait lang ha, saglit lang, inom lang ako ng tubig para mawala itong aking sipon kahit papaano. Okay. So mag-extend na lang tayo hanggang 9 para medyo matakil din natin yung natitira pang subject. Okay, so yung cosmology natin, yun nga, which means universe. Tatandaan nyo ito ha, yung mga branches of philosophy. Kasi usual talaga siyang lumalabas sa exam. Okay. Bakit teka lang? Ayaw siyang mag-share. Ayaw siyang, wait lang ha. Send na lang tayo para marami tayong mapag-usapan. Okay, so meron tayo dito na psychology, which mind or from the Greek word, okay, psych, which means mind or soul. Living beings, vital operations, the principle of life or soul. Kasi pag sinabi natin psychology, we are talking of the minds and soul. Under philosophy to ha, iba to yung psych na pinag-uusapan natin kanina. Ethics, which means morality on the morality of human acts. Ito, hindi to mag-e-exist kung walang tao. Ontology or general metaphysics, we're talking on beings in general. Yung why things exist. Yan yun, pag sinabi natin ontology or general metaphysics. Another one is that, ba't natabi niya ang aking ano? Wait lang ha. Another one we have theodicy. Okay, theos, which means God. This is the study of God actually. Epistemology is the study of knowledge. Anthropology, which means man, the study about man. Meron din tayong political philosophy, a study about the state or government. And then meron tayong social philosophy, a study of man in relation with the society he lives in. Aesthetics, a study of art and beauty. Axiology, the study of human values. And yung logic, so pag-aaralan din natin yan. Yeah, the science and art of correct thinking. Science kasi we're using scientific method. Kasi bago natin masabi na tama ang sinasabi natin, so we undergo scientific method. Ang art kasi nga, pag nag-iisip kasi tayo dito, orderly and properly. Okay, sa logic, ito yung mga tatandaan ninyo, yung mga inference, okay, on how, sinabi natin inference, before we come up with a conclusion, okay, dumaan muna talaga tayo sa tamang pinag-isipan natin ng maayos. Okay. So, yun yung mga possible nating pag-aaralan. Okay. So, here, sige. Sa ano kasi dito, sa philosophy natin, ang focus natin more on ay yung mga branches of philosophy. Yung logic kasi walang masyadong lumalabas, pero tatandaan nyo na lang yung ano. Ang usual na lumalabas dito sa sa logic, ito yung usual na lumalabas. Yung mga fallacy. Ayan. Tandaan nyo to. Argumentum ad misericordiam, appeal to pity or sympathy. Okay, this is the error of bypassing logic in the point at issue by appealing to pity or sympathy. Halimbawa, sir, maawa na po kayo sa akin, ipaso niyo na po ako, may 3 anak po akong pinagpapaaral o pinag-aaral at sinusuportahan. Kumbaga yung pagpasa mo is not related, yung argument mo is not related doon sa pagpasa mo sa subject. Kasi nga nakikiusap ka, appeal to pity or sympathy. Ito yung mga tatandaan nyo. Ito yung usual na lumalabas, okay, ito yung usual na lumalabas sa philosophy. And then, ayan, appeal to people, argumentum ad populum. Ayan, this is committed when one evades the point under discussion and instead appeals, okay, to the opinions, passion, or prejudices of the people. Naniniwala ka sa mga sinasabi ng tao. Diba? Kaya lang, wala ka namang basis. Pero ito kasi nangyari na eh. Diba? Bato is sure to win the senatorial position because he has been consistently topping election surveys. Kaya lang minsan yung appeal to people, nangyayari na talaga siya ngayon. Okay, and then, okay, argumentum ad hominem. Okay, argument against the person. So, ang inaatake mo ay hindi yung kanyang argument, kundi yung kanyang personality. Huwag niyong pinaniniwalaan yung sinasabi ni Peter, pasaway, bolero, at saka hindi maganda ang background ng pamilya niya. Ayan. Mali ang sinasabi niya dahil estudyante lang siya. Ayon. Argumentum ad hominem. Argument against the person. Okay? Yung argumentum ad boculum naman, appeal to force or threat. Yon. So, nananakot ka. Yeah, this is committed when one seeks to establish, okay, a conclusion by resorting to force or intimidation. Examples, kapag hindi ka nakuha sa santong dasalan, kukunin kita sa santong paspasan. Okay. Kapag hindi mo ko minahal, hindi kita ipapasa. Argumentum ad vericundiam, appeal to wrong authority, yung tayo ay nagtatanong, okay, or may sa hindi mga expert na tao or yung mga hindi mga expert sa ibang field ay nagbibigay ng kanilang comments and suggestions to public. Ayan. Example, another killer earthquake will hit Cabanatuan City within 3 years, Sarah Geronimo said. Argumentum ad ignorantiam, appeal to ignorance. Ayan. This occurs when one proves that a thing is true because it cannot be proven false, or thing is false because it cannot be proven true. Ayan. Wala talagang Diyos kasi hindi ko siya nakikita kahit nasa microscope. Yung nagpapaka-ignorante ka kasi hindi mo makita hindi mo makita kasi yung mga evidences. Meron pa non sequitur or addendum non sequitur, it does not follow. Ayan. Kumbaga conclusion ka agad pero hindi naman nag-flow logically. The sky is blue, therefore I love you. O, di ba? Ang layo. Another one is that post hoc ergo propter hoc false cause. Halimbawa nito yun sa mga Milo energy drink. Yan daw ay bagsak sa exam kasi na-engkanto. Yung mga ganoon. Tulad nito, the basketball varsity of the College of the Immaculate Conception, okay, won the championship game because the players drank Milo energy drink before the game. O kaya Catriona Gray won Miss Universe 2018 because of her high heels. Diba? Hindi konektado ang reason or ang cause sa mga nangyayari. Meron pa complex question. Masyado ko agad nag-assume. Is he your third boyfriend? Diba? Hindi mo lang tinanong kung boyfriend mo ba siya, nag-conclude ka agad. Diba? Sa tanong mo, nag-conclude ka agad na pangatlo na siyang boyfriend niya. Diba? Nakita mo lang magkasama eh. Diba? Okay, ethics or moral philosophy. Ayan, a branch of philosophy that involves systematizing, defending, and recommending concepts of right and wrong. Ang tatandaan nyo naman sa ethics ay ito. Pag sinabi natin meta-ethics, we're talking of the theories of ethics. Pag sinabi naman natin normative ethics, dito natin i-assess or i-evaluate kung ang action ng tao ay moral, immoral, or amoral. Ang moral kasi madali. Kasi still in the line or still doon tayo sa morality. Ang immorality, lampas ng morality. Yung amoral kasi yung nalilito tayo. If sinabi natin amoral, we cannot say it directly moral or immoral. Halimbawa, white lies. Diba? Ayun ay amoral. Kasi nagsisinungaling tayo, maybe we wanted to protect someone or we wanted to save someone. Pero at the end, ikaw ay nagsinungaling pa rin. Amoral yon kasi nasa gitna ka. The same with euthanasia. Pag-applied ethics naman, ito yung application ng ethics in different endeavors of human lives. Halimbawa, professional ethics, ethics on work, yung mga ganun. Yan, tandaan nyo yung mga theories of ethics, no? Pag sinabi natin hedonism, that is pleasure principle. Ang basihan ng pagiging tama sa hedonism ay pleasure. As long as you are happy of what you're doing, tama yon. Sa stoicism naman, okay, ito yung considers apathy or indifference to pleasure as the moral norm. Kumbaga, peace of mind ang kailangan natin dito. Kumbaga, if you don't desire anything, yun ang basihan ng kanila pagiging tama. Ang Epicureanism naman ay balanse. Diba? Pag-enjoy ka, okay lang. Pero dapat alam mo yung limitation mo. Sa Passionism, nagiging tama ang isang bagay depende sa konteksto or sa sitwasyon. Humanistic ethics, tama ang isang bagay, depende kung paano ka nagkakaroon ng isang magandang harmonious relations, okay, with those people around you. Domestic ethics, the good must be done and evil must be avoided. Sabi nga ni Thomas Aquinas, do good and avoid evil. Ayan. Maitism, might is right. Diba? Sabi nga dito, pag sinabi natin maitism, ang utos ng hari ay hindi mababalik. Ang rational ethics naman, nagiging tama ang isang bagay, depende kung paano mo siya ipapaliwanag. Ang inyong polarity naman is a Chinese ethical principle wherein there is a balance of nature. Kung may maganda, may hindi maganda, may katamtaman. Then Filipino centripetal ethics is a law of karma. Whatever you have planted that you are going to reap. Kaya kung ikaw ay gumawa ng hindi maganda sa kapwa mo, karma is real. Diba? Kung maganda naman ang inyong sabihin na natin ginawa sa kapwa mo, so karma, good karma will come. So we have to wait for it. Ayan. Yan ang mga tatandaan ninyo. So binigay ko na yung mga possible lumabas sa philosophy ha. Okay, particularly yun nga, we emphasize the different branches of philosophy. Okay, we also have things that we have to focus on logic, particularly yung ating mga ito, yung sinabi natin kanina. Okay. Yung pinag-usapan natin about fallacy. Ayan. And then, another thing is that yung pinag-usapan natin about theories of ethics. Yon yung usual na lumalabas kapag philosophy. Okay. I-share naman natin, pasensya na ha kasi yung sinisipon talaga ako. Minsan para may tumutulo siya ng konti. Pero naaagapan naman. Okay. Wait lang. Okay, for me, wait lang, hanapin natin. Okay. So let us have this. Rizal and other heroes. Okay. Emphasize lang natin ito kay Rizal. Ayan, Rizal and other heroes, no? Okay. So, tingnan natin kung paano si Rizal pinili bilang isang pambansang bayani ng Howard Taft Commission in 1901. Ito kasi yung basihan lang before. Ang pagpili ng pambansang bayani during 1901, ito yung ating qualification. Isang Pilipino, yung mauna, may matayang na pagmamahal sa bayan, may mahinahong damdamin. Mga pangalang pinagpilian, baka kasi lumabas, yan, si Marcelo H. Del Pilar, Emilio Jacinto, Graciano Lopez Haina, Antonio Luna, and Jose Rizal. Bakit si Rizal ang pinili? Ito yung reason. Huwaran ng kapayapaan, umakit magkaisang bansa laban sa mga Kastila, ang mga Pilipino ay sentimental o maramdamin, kaya ang pagiging api ni Rizal ay sa kamay ng mga Kastila mula sa paglilitis hanggang sa paglilibing sa sementeryo ng Paco ay kaakma-akma sa pagiging maramdamin ng mga Pilipino. O kaya siya yung pinili. At dahil dito hanggang ngayon ay isa pa ring issue na si Jose Rizal ay American-sponsored national hero. Si Esteban de Ocampo ng 1991 na hindi ang mga Amerikano ang tuwirang pumili kay Rizal na maging pambansang bayani ng Pilipinas dahil sa mga sumusunod na kadahilanan. Ang mga gawa, sinulat at buhay ni Rizal ay sapat ng dahilan para tanghilin siyang pambansang bayani. Ang mga Filipino noong mga panahong iyon ay buong pusong nagpupugay sa kadakalaan ni Rizal. At ang mga dayuhang intelektual at dignitaryo na nakasalamuhan ni Rizal ay nagpahayag din ng hindi mapapasubali ang paghanga kay Rizal. Yun yung reasons naman niya. Sa isang sabi, naniniwala si De Ocampo na ang ginawang pagtangkal sa Komisyong Taft kay Rizal bilang pambansang bayani ay formalidad na lamang dahil ito ay fait accompli na maituturing o kailangan na lang gamitan ng sentido komon para maunawaan. Ayan. Anong batayan? Tandaan niyo yung batayan ng kabayanihan sa kasulukuyang panahon kasi walang qualified po sa gobyerno ng Pilipinas para sabihin natin na siya ay pwede maging pambansang bayani. Ayan. Ayan ang lalalim ng dahilan or qualifications para ikaw ay maging isang pambansang bayani. Bayani ka kung tinataglay mo ang kaisipang makabansa at dahilan upang mitihiin at makipaglaban para sa kalayaan ng bayan. Bayani ka kung nabibigyan mo ng kahulugan at nag-aambag ka sa sistema ng buhay, ng kalayaan at kaayusan ng bayan. Bayani ka kung nakakapag-ambag ka para sa mabuting kalidad ng buhay at kinabukasan ng bayan, at bayani ka kung iniisip mo ang kabutihan ng susunod na henerasyon. Bayani ka kung ikaw ay bahagi ng ekspresyon ng mga mamamayan. Ang pagkabayani ay hindi lamang pagbibilang ng mahalagang kabanata ng kasaysayan, bagkus ng buong proseso na nagtatanghal sa isang tao bilang bayani. So ano ibig sabihin natin dito? Napakabigat ng qualification o mga batayan kung paano magiging isang bayani o pambansang bayani ang isang Pilipinong tulad natin o mga Pilipinong tulad natin. Pero pa hanggang sa ngayon, wala pa rin qualified sa inilapat na qualifications ng National Historical Commission. Pero noong 2015, may panukalang batas na si Rizal na lang daw ang panatilihing bayani o pambansang bayani ng Pilipinas. Play natin. Okay? Yan naman pag natatagalan talaga. Okay, so ayan, alam naman natin yung RA 1425 Rizal Law. At ito yung importance of studying Rizal course. Yan, the subject provides insights on how to deal with current problems. It helps us understand better ourselves as Filipinos. It teaches nationalism and patriotism. It provides various essential life lessons. It helps in developing logical and critical thinking. Rizal can serve as a worthwhile model and inspiration to every Filipino. The subject is a rich source of entertaining narratives. Totoo naman. Rizal as a person, ayan, the great thinker, no limitang hiren el filibusterismo. The great doer, he has excelled into different fields and competed with other geniuses. Alam nyo naman yan, lahat na yata ng trabaho at kaalaman ay alam na ni Rizal. The great lover, his love of God, family, friends, and it should be at and love for Josephine Bracken. The great servant, the ultimo adios. Rizal works, tandaan niyo ito kasi lumalabas ito. To my fellow children, sa aking mga kabata, to the Filipino youth, Alahibuntod Filipina, letter to the young women of Malolos, the intricate alliance between religion and good education, my last farewell, the counsel of gods, no limitang hiren el filibusterismo. Tandaan nyo rin yung mga characters in No Limitang Hireno. Sino ba si Crisostomo Ibarra, si Elias, si Kapitan Tiago, Padre Damaso. Pinaglalagay ko na dito kung sino sila. Diba? Tagalog. Ginawa ko ng Tagalog para mas matandaan ninyo. Sa bagay, Tagalog naman siya. Kalimitan Tagalog naman ang Rizal question sa let. Padre Damaso. Wait lang ha. Ayan. Padre Damaso, si Padre Salvi, si Maria Clara, ayan, ang dami nila. Tandaan nyo sila. Piloso Potasio, si Sisa, si Basilio at Crispin, Alperes, ayan, Doña Victorina, Doña Consolacion, Don Tiburcio de Espadaña, Linares, Don Pilipo, Senyor Nol Juan, si Lucas, Tarsilo at Bruno, Tia Isabel, Doña Pia, Iday, Sinang, Victoria at Andeng, tandaan niyan, Kapitan General, Don Rafael Ibarra, Don Saturnino, Mang Pablo, Kapitan Basilio Tiniente Ibarra, Kapitan Maria, Padre Sibila Albino. Ito naman yung characters in El Filibusterismo, si Simon, Sagani Basilio Cabezang Tales, Tandang Selo, Ginoong Pasta, Bensaib, Placido Penitente, Padre Camora, Padre Fernandez, Padre Florentino, Don Custodio, Padre Irene, Juanito Pilaes, Macaraig, Doña Victorina, Paulita Gomez, Kiryoga, okay, Julie, Hermana Bali, Hermana Penchang, Ginoong Lieds, okay, Imotis. And then, yung other heroes, tatandaan nyo yung usual, like Andres Bonifacio, sorry, sinisipon talaga ako, okay. Nandito naman yung ginawa niya. He founded the Secret Society Katipunan on July 7, 1892. Kilala naman si Andres Bonifacio. General Gregorio del Pilar. O, nandito rin yung kanyang achievement, yung Hero of Tirad Pass. Nandito rin si Emilio Aguinaldo, di ba? Yung officially proclaimed the Philippine independence in Malolos, Bulacan on January 23, 1899 and considered as the first, president. Sino pa? Apolinario Mabini, dapat alam niyo yung mga tawag sa kanila, Sublime Paralytic and the Brain of the Revolution. Taga-amin yan dito sa Tanawan City, Batangas. Father Mariano Gomez, Father Jose Burgos, and Father Jacinto Zamora, ang ating gumbursa. The intellectuals who crusaded for reform, Father Jose Burgos killed by Garrote in Bagong Bayan, Manila on February 17, 1872 for allegedly instigating the Cavite Mutiny. Diba? Another one, Emilio Jacinto, brain of the Katipunan. So tinan nyo rin yung kanyang background kung saan siya pinanganak at kailan siya pinanganak. Ganun din si General Antonio Luna, the greatest general of the revolution. Yung younger brother of Juan Luna, the famous painter. Ito kilala, pero may mga bayani kasi na nilagay ako dito na lumalabas sa exam, pero they are not well known. Tandaan nyo yun. Okay. Ano daw? Wait lang. Ayan, so, wait lang. What? I can post hindi lang. Ano? I cannot understand yung sinasabi ni Mr. Gotwal. Ano pa? Sino pa? Okay. Wait lang. Sige, pakilala pa natin yung mga kilala nyo na para madagdagan. Melchor Aquino, better known as Tandang Sora, taga Caloocan City. Graciano Lopez Haina, the founder and first editor of the newspaper La Solidaridad. Okay, Panday Pira, baka hindi nyo kilala yung ating first Filipino canon maker. Okay, Mariano Ponce, researcher, historian, bibliographer, propagandist, diplomat, physician, folklorist, and outstanding reformist. Ligoria de Jesus, diba? Patriotic women, kasama ni Andres Bonifacio, at tinatawag na Lakambini ng Katipunan. Fernando Maria Guerrero, musician, journalist, politician, and lawyer. Siya yung tinatawag na greatest lyric poet in Spanish. Felipe Agoncillo, a stunning diplomat of the Philippine Revolution, born in Taal, Batangas on May 26, 1859. Yan, may iba dyan, hindi nakilala ito. Juan Luna, kilala natin yan. So, syempre, kilala sa Espolarium. Rafael Palma, orator, statesman, scholar, educator, and writer. So, taga Tondo, Manila. Marcelo H. Del Pilar, political analyst of the Filipino colony in Spain. Pedro Paterno, statesman, poet, writer, and peacemaker. Leona Florentino, first poetess of the Philippines. Okay, imagine, meron tayong first poetess of the Philippines. Isabella de las Reyes, the last of the propagandists, gifted son of Leona Florentino, first poetess of the Philippines. Artemio Ricarte, ayan, an incurable hero of the revolution. Yan, okay. Jose Palma, poet and soldier. Raha Lacandola, okay. Actually, Lacandula nga yan eh. Pero iba kasi ito yung spelling nila, Lacandola. Pero Lacandula. One of the most illustrious ancient Filipinos, chief of Tondo. Raha Sulaiman, the last Raha of Manila, noted for his daring and bravery. Leonor Rivera, cousin and fiancée of Jose Rizal, she was the Maria Clara Rizal's Nole, Mitangere. Okay. Oh, hindi Pinoy si Gotwal. That's why I cannot understand. Okay, Marcelo Marino Agoncillo. Okay, maker of the first Philippine flag. Taga-Taal, Batangas. Galicano Apasible, one of the founders of La Solidaridad. Baka hindi nyo ito kilala ha, lumalabas ito sa exam. Jose Maria Panganiban, Avenger of Filipino Honor. Ayan, born in Mambulao, Camarines Norte on February 1, 1863. Katrabaho po yan ni Jose Rizal. Diego Silang, ayan. Okay. So he led the revolt of the Ilocanos in opposition to the tribute and abuses of the Spanish official. Maria Josefa Gabriela Silang, ano siya? di ba? Asawa ni Diego sila. Lapu-Lapu, Chief of Mactan, kilala naman natin yan. Francisco Baltasar, si Balagtas, di ba? The Prince of Tagalog Poets. Di ba may kanya-kanya siyang title para sila sa Pinoy Big Brother. So may kanya-kanya silang mga title. Kung saan sila galing, di ba? Kung saan sila well-known. Okay. Another one, we have, thank you those who are watching. Medyo nagmamadali lang tayo kasi nga overtime na rin tayo. Pero okay lang kasi we still have one subject. Okay, napapasbasa natin. Another one, we have Epifanio de los Santos, lawyer, journalist, historian, philosopher, bibliographer, biographer, okay. And painter, poet, musician, literary critic, antique collector, and librarian. Ang dami kasing alam nito ni Epifanio de los Santos. Francisco Dagohoy. Alam niyo siya yung may pinakamahabang Dagohoy Revolt ang pinakamahaba. Kasi 85 years ba naman? Kaya lang, yung 85 years na yon, iba-iba yung nagpatuloy noon. Kung baga nagpasimula lang si Francisco Dagohoy, napalitan lang siya ng iba't ibang namumuno during that time. Kung baga pinagpatuloy lamang. Teresa Magbanua, the first woman in Panay to fight in the Philippine Revolution. Siya ang tinatawag nating the Visayan Joan of Arc. O, di ba? Okay. So, we have here, wait lang, ang ating sinisipunan naman tayo. Okay, then, so aside from Teresa Magbanua, Trinidad Texon, siya yung mother of the Biyak na Bato. Galing siya ng Bulacan. Bakit niyo siya kilala? Kilala niyo na ngayon si Trinidad Texon. Agueda Esteban, siya po ay Katipunan member who later married Artemio Ricarte. Diba, imagine? She commuted from Cavite to Manila to buy saltpeter, lead, and copper which were used to make ammunitions. Ang role kasi ng mga kababaihan noong revolusyon, kung hindi mga tagatago ng mga papeles o dokumento, tagabili ng mga gagamiting elemento sa paggawa ng paputok or pasabog. Ayan, or bala. Julian Felipe, composer of the Philippine National Anthem. Okay, Marina Dizon, daughter of Katipunan leader in Cavite, who was one of the 13 martires executed by the Spanish officials in 1896. Sino pa? General Francisco Macabulos, okay, leader of the revolt in Tarlac. Ang sinishare ko lang yung sinishare ko na lang yung pinaka-known sila, pero kung titingnan natin based on the PowerPoint presentation given, halos kompleto naman yung description sa kanila. Okay, so yon. So yan, mga lumalabas yan sa exam, sa Rizal. Okay, so last na. Pasensya na, medyo mabilis tayo kasi kailangan nating matakil yung mga sinabi ko kanina. Society and culture. Sa bagay, sa mga susunod na board exam, hindi na ito ang mga subject. Bawas na ito. Diba? Kasi ilan na lang yung social sciences eh. Diba? Mas kokonti na siya sa susunod na mga board exam. Okay, we have society and culture with family planning. Okay. Yan, sociology defined. Scientific study of society and social problems. Ngayon, tinitingnan natin dito ang tao sa social group. Alam natin ang society is a system of interacting individuals and interrelated groups sharing common culture. It's a social science, definitely. Okay, so here, meron tayong major theoretical perspective in sociology. In short, paano ba natin pinag-aaralan ang sociology? Una, sociological perspective. We focus on society as a whole. We focus on social, cultural, organizational, environmental, and group factors. Ito yung mga proponents natin. Si Charles Horton Cooley, so pinag-aralan niya yung, he looked first at smaller units and so these are responsible for shaping people's beliefs, ideas, social nature, and values. Si James Adams naman, 1860, ang pinag-aralan naman niyan ay she focused on creating a more just society and combine intellectual inquiry, political activism, and social service. Actually, nagsimula sa lahat ng social sciences, the youngest is sociology. Kasi it started after French Revolution. Robert Merton, 1910, successful combination of theory and research in the study of deviant behavior. Ang deviant behavior kasi natin ay syempre yung mga pasaway na behavior. The functionalist perspective, nakikita nila o pinag-aaralan nila ang society as a living organism. Kumbaga lahat tayo, we are forming part of the whole. So kilala dyan si Talcott Parsons. Sabi ni Talcott Parsons, yung mga bagay na hindi naman magiging kapakipakinabang sa next generation ay wag na nating ipasa pa. Kasi nga, hindi naman talaga kapakipakinabang. So, anong purpose? Okay? Hello, Judy Ann Aligin from Iloilo and from Buluan, Maguindanao. So, we have the Tuiza, Makaling. Ayan. Those who are watching, pasensya na kayo, medyo nagmamadali tayo kasi we have only 2 hours to finish everything. So that is why medyo ini-scan lang natin ng kaunti and medyo may sipon din ako kaya medyo nag-mute ako ng konti kasi sumisingot ako eh. Kanina lang to yung sipon kasi pabago-bago dito, umulan, ang init. Okay, pabago-bago. Di ako makaka-catch up lahat. Could you please send me in my email? By the way, when it comes to the materials, okay, you can talk to Sir Atun. Kay Teacher A. Siya po kasi yung may control lahat ng mga materials na aming ginawa. Another one, okay. Pero ito kasing ginawa ko ng mga lecture, ito ay sadyang matagal ko itong natapos eh. Bago ko ito i-share. Ayan, so ngayon naman, another perspective in sociology, pinag-aaralan natin ang society through conflict perspective. Diba? So pinag-aaralan na there is conflict between competing groups para maintindihan natin yung social behavior. And ang proponent dito ay si William Edward, okay, Bernhard Du Bois. Okay, he believed that knowledge is a key element to achieve tolerance, injustice, and to fight prejudice. Yes, if you're knowledgeable about the culture, okay, and the status, and even everything about a group of people, so nakakaiwas tayo mag-discriminate. Pero alam niyo, ang conflict perspective kasi, hindi lahat ng idinudulot ng conflict ay hindi maganda. Kasi during the Industrial Revolution, di ba, nagkaroon ng conflict between the labor and the bourgeois, yung mga capitalist. Ang ganda na nangyari na establish ang labor code in different countries. Feminist theory, okay, argued for a gender-balanced society or study of society in which women's contribution experiences must be visible as men. Meron din tayong symbolic perspective. Lahat na ang nakikita natin around, okay, around in the society, kahit sang lugar, nakikita natin, it symbolizes something. Sabi nga, the symbolic interactionist perspective views human beings as living in a world of meaningful objects. Symbols are seen by interactionists as important part of communication. Halimbawa sa Pilipinas, di ba, yung simpleng pagmamano, it symbolizes something, it symbolizes respect, di ba? Actually, lahat ng meron tayo sa Pilipinas, may simbolo yan eh. Halimbawa ay kahit yung simpleng tasa, ang tasa kasi it symbolizes our culture in a sense na bakit ang mga Pilipino may mga tasa sa bahay? Kasi kultura natin ng uminom ng may init na inumin, lalo na sa umaga. Lalo na pa ikay nagkakape. Sa Pilipinas parang okay, naririnig na ako. Narinig niyo ako?
Yes, sir.
Kasi sabi dito sa Facebook, hindi daw ako naririnig. Ayan. Pero malakas naman. Sinisipon pa nga ako, rinig pa nga yung pagsinghot ko. Sorry ha, medyo singhot ako. Ayan. Halimbawa yung tasa natin, tapos parang culture na rin or kasabihan na rin sa mga Pilipino na sa umaga, pag nagkakape tayo, parang required matulala. Di ba? Nakatigil ka, matutulala ka ng bahagya. Ginagawa natin lahat yun eh. Ayan, tulad ng mga proponents natin, okay, George Herbert Mead, okay, 1863 to 1931, he concentrated on the development of the self. Ito naman si Erving Goffman, proposed the dramaturgical approach. Naniniwala kasi siya na ang mundo, ang society, isang malaking teatro na ang tao ay may kanya-kanyang drama sa buhay. Si Carol Brooks Gardner naman, she focused on gender issues. Ayan. Ito yung mga known for in sociology. Si Auguste Comte, lagi siyang lumalabas. Siya yung sinuconsider as father of sociology. Diba? He coined the term sociology. And then si Harriet Merton naman, an English sociologist, dealt with American society. Herbert Spencer, okay, nakikita niya ang society isang organism, parang kanina na may iba't ibang parte ng katawan. Si Imelda Durkheim naman, ito known din to a French sociologist who contributed the study of groups, his theoretical work on suicide, the aspects of social behavior in the crime and punishment, religion in the workplace. Si Max Weber naman, a German sociologist, who was also, okay, who was also one of the founders of symbolic interactionism. Na yun nga, lahat ng bagay na may encounter natin sa mundo, sa society, ay may mga ibig sabihin. Karl Marx, ito yung sinasabi ko kanina, yung conflict theory, na through conflict between the labor and capitalist, na-establish ang mga labor court in different places of the world. George Simmel naman, okay, so impact of social differentiation. Pag sinabi natin social differentiation, yung status ng pamumuhay. Ano ba yung social stratification? Saan ka ba nabibilang? Lower class, middle class, upper class. Diba? Okay. And development of sociology in the Philippines. Unang itinuro sa UST bilang separate discipline ni Father Valentin Marin. Okay. And then, we have Professor A. Salt and UP Press Murray. Wait lang. Okay, so Professor A.W. Salt and UP Press Murray Barley initiated the first organized course in sociology at UP in 1911. Okay, and then I can hear you, sir. Thank you so much sa mga nakikinig. Medyo nagmamadali tayo ha. I'm sorry sa mga nakikinig kung bakit medyo mabilisan lang tayo kasi nga ano na tayo kumbaga ay overtime na tayo ng 30 minutes. Si Dean Conrado Benitez kasi is the first Filipino who teach sociology at UP and followed by Serafin Macaraig. Felipe Gamboa taught sociology at the Philippine Women's University in 1938 at siya rin po ang unang Pilipino na nagkaroon ng PhD in the University of Wisconsin, PhD in sociology. Imagine sa US pa siya nag-aral. And then he also introduced the social problem orientation, the teaching of sociology in 1920. Hela Castillo, ang kanya namang focus ay empirical studies into the development problem areas where policymakers, researchers, teachers, and students can concentrate their efforts. Kung ba ginamit niyo yung sociology para makagawa ng mga policy na mapapakinabangan okay ng tao. Ayan. Meron din tayong sociological imagination at kilala dyan si C. Wright Mills. Diba? Sabi nga rito, as described by C. Wright Mills, is an awareness of the relationship between an individual and the wider society. Akala lang ng tao, di ba, yung ang dami-dami niyang problema, di ba? Ang dami-dami nilang problema, pagkatapos parang ang bigat-bigat na ng kanilang dibdib, hindi nila alam when they see the wider society, ay ang problema nila ay maliit lamang kumpara sa problema ng ibang tao sa mundo. Di ba? Okay. The method and logic of sociological inquiry. So you're just going to conduct like it means that it seems like you're just conducting a research. Ayan o. Define the research problem and review related literature. Formulate the hypothesis. Plan the research design. Gather the data. Analyze the data. Formulate the conclusion, check or verify results, communicate the results to others. Ayan. Ayan, meron tayong mga methodological design in sociology. Experimental method, we're using experiment pag survey research. Okay, meron tayong mga questionnaire or instruments. Field research or participant research, okay. Nasa field ka mismo. Diba, nagre-research ka. Pero pag participatory, nakikitira ka na talaga para kang nag-immersion with them. Okay. Ano yung mga technique used in sociological inquiry? Pwede ang qualitative. Ayan, ang sample. Observation, interviews, historical research, life history, case study, content analysis, use of films and tape recorder, and feminist research. Kung quantitative naman, survey research. Pero mas maganda sa sociology talaga, qualitative. Ayan. Another one, culture. Refers to the total and distinctive way of life or designs for living of any society. Actually, everything that we do in our everyday life is culture. Pwede siyang material or non-material. Ang characteristics ng culture, ito ay natututunan. You can transmit culture from one generation to other. Okay, it's a group product, social and shared. Ang kultura kasi sinishare talaga yun ng tao, hindi yung ginagawa lang ng isang tao. Culture is ideational, yung tipo na once na nagawa mo yung kultura na meron ka in your society, yung tipo na matik na dapat gawin mo yun kasi it makes people happy. Parang number 5, pag explain, culture is ideational, ito yung tipong it came from the idea of different people, pinagsama-sama natin. Diba? At saka ito ay may pagka-ideal yung dating eh. Pag sinabing culture, ang thinking natin, we have to follow it. Gratifying kasi it makes people happy. Halimbawa, sa Batangas, pag nagpakasal ka, yung kultura ng pagkakasal dito nagawa mo, tuwan-tuwa mga Batanggenyo. Culture is adaptive, dynamic. Why? Kasi nga, paano ba natin masasabi na dynamic ang culture? Kasi nagba-vary siya from one, hindi. What I mean when we say culture is adaptive, kung anong culture na nandyan, madali siyang i-embrace ng tao. Madali siyang matutunan. Culture is integrated as a whole. Lahat ng nakikita natin, lahat ng ginagawa natin, fashion, style, it's culture. Everything here is culture. Culture, it varies from one person to another, from one society to another. And culture is symbolic kasi it symbolizes things. Diba? Lalo yung mga material, culture, may mga ibig sabihin yan. Yan, may folkways tayo. Types of behavior which have the force, custom, but do not necessarily have a moral connotation. Diba? Okay, what do you mean by this? Ayan, are types of behavior which have the force of custom but do not necessarily have a moral connotation. Ito yung pag sinabi natin folkways, ito yung mga bagay na nakakagista na natin eh. Diba? And yan, more or less attach ideas of right and wrong to some kind of behavior. It may be sanctified by religion and is strengthened by incorporation into it. It's more morality pag mores eh. Diba? Ang folkways kasi, halimbawa, nagchismis ka, okay lang yun. O kaya naman, bawal magchismis, pero yung, alam mo yung term na huli ka pero hindi ka kulong, it's folkways. Diba? Okay? Another one, values are measures of goodness or desirability. Kasi pag sinabi natin values, that is more on ideals eh. More on, sabihin na natin, pag sinabi natin na values, what is out to be. And ang values kasi, pag ginagamitan natin ang values clarification, yung nararak natin yung mga importanteng bagay sa atin or importanteng tao. And then yung values yung nag-lead sa atin kung ano yung mga dapat nating gawin. For example, if you value your friendship, you know what to do. If you value your family, you know what to do. And then norms are shared rules of conduct. Okay, it seems like ethics. Meron tayong standard. Okay, that is not beyond morality eh, pag sinabi natin norms. And laws are formalized norms. Halimbawa ay bawal magnakaw. Kasi normal naman na bawal magnakaw. So para mas maging established siya, gagawin mo siyang batas na merong parusa. Kasi yung norms, para siyang folkways eh. Ito yung tama. Pero kailangan ma-implement natin siya. Kaya nag-formalize siya as a norm, i-establish natin ang batas. Ano pa? Ayan, may subgroup and subculture tayo. Ang subgroups natin are formed on the basis of age, sex, social class, occupation, religion, and ethnicity. Subculture is certain cultural specialties developed by subgroups. Yung subgroups, okay, depende yan eh. Halimbawa sa age. Depende kasi sa classification kung ano ka eh. Kung meron kayong grupo, di ba, pero kayong subgroup, ang tawag dun sa culture na pinoprocess ninyo or ginagawa ninyo ay subculture. Ethnocentrism, ito yung ikaw bilang Pilipino, you really love your culture. You believe that your culture is better Okay, comparing to all cultures around the world. Ayan. Sinocentrism naman, ito yung tinatanggap mo yung kultura mo. Ayaw mo ng culture mo. Nire-reject mo ang culture mo. Culture shock, syempre, pag nagpunta tayo sa ibang lugar na we are not familiar with, naku-culture shock tayo o nasa-shock tayo sa mga bagay na kanilang ginagawa. Ayan. Cultural relativism, ang konsepto nito, walang pangit or magandang culture. Tayo lang ang nagbibigay tayo lang yung nagde-describe o tayo lang yung nagsasabi na may pangit at may magandang kultura. Pag cultural universals, ang mga culture ay mayroong similarities. Di ba? And then pag diversity of culture, ang culture ay nagbabago-bago or diverse. Iba ang mga cultural patterns, ideas, kanya-kanya yan. Kaya you know what, if you're going to visit a particular place, not only in the Philippines, you have to understand or to study their culture first. Diba? Kaya dapat ganun ang gawin natin. Okay. Ano yung factors that promote cultural diversity? Siyempre, kinakategorize kasi natin yung tao na magkakaiba eh. Tapos may mga kanya-kanyang grupo na iba't iba ang ginagawa. And then magkakaiba rin talaga yung ideas, okay, and practices na meron tayo sa ating culture. Ayan. Okay, sige. Yan, cultural variability, para lang din yung cultural diversity. That culture differs because of the great variety of solutions evolved by people from different society. Okay, ano pa ba? Cultural integration naman, ito yung ginawa natin noong mga panahon ng Kastila ay nandito at ibang mananakop. Yung tipo na in-integrate natin yung culture coming from or came from different invaders. Institutions, okay, are organized systems of social relationship with embody common values and procedures and meet basic needs of the society. Okay, mga institutions kasi natin like government, isa na yan. Culture trait, the simplest unit of culture. Related traits are grouped into culture complexes. Ibig sabihin, pag sinabi natin culture trait, ano ba yung katangian na meron ng kultura ninyo na nag-identify sa inyo mismo? Counterculture, ayan, it is a subculture which is not merely different for, but sharply opposed to the dominant value society. Kumbaga ito, ang mga Pilipino hospitable, pero may mga ilang tao na hindi ganoon. Kumbaga, binabangga nila yung general culture na meron ang Pilipinas. Accommodation is the peaceful adjustment between hostile or competing groups. Okay. Balanse ka rito. Acculturation is the acquisition by a group or individual or the traits of another culture. Acculturation. So, ina-acquire natin. Kung inculturation naman, we're learning. Diba? It is the process of learning the roles of one place in the culture and becoming part of the culture. Socialization ang tawag doon. Diffusion is the spread of the cultural traits from group to group. Nandito naman siya, maintindihan agad natin. Assimilation is the mutual diffusion through which person or groups come to share a common culture. Kasi dahil natin nag-assimilate, okay, ina-adapt natin yung kultura ng iba. Diba? Kung tipo nag-assimilate ka sa sitwasyon, yung tipo na lahat sila natutulog, matulog ka din, it's okay, it's assimilation. Culture lag, it is the time lag between a change or innovation and accomplishment of the social and cultural adjustment which the innovation makes necessary. Kasi pag sinabi natin culture lag, like a backlog, ang daming naiwan, ang daming pagbabago na, dapat maraming pagbabago anong nangyari. Naiwan ang kultura. Hindi naka-adjust with technology, for example. Cultural pluralism, ayan. Ito yung pagtotolerate natin na merong cultural differences. Alienation is the emotional separation from a society or group combining feeling of powerlessness, northerness, and social isolation. Yung tipong you are separated from your society, na parang wala silang pakialam sa iyo, and binibelittle mo ang sarili mo. You're isolating oneself from them. Ideal culture and your culture, ayan. Okay. Kasi pag ideal culture kasi, nakalapat ang kultura, dapat gagawin natin. Ang real culture naman, ay ibig sabihin, hindi lahat ng kulturang available ay i-embrace mo. Diba? Pwede mo namang hindi sundin. It depends on you. Okay, taboo is a behavior pattern which is strongly disapproved by the society. Ayun, halimbawa ay sa Pilipinas, murahin mo ang Diyos. For example, I'm sorry for this. For the example, it's taboo, maraming magagalit sa'yo. Murahin mo ang Pope, maraming magagalit sa'yo. Something like that. Cultural pattern, so makikita natin yung characteristics or traits which are constantly repeated in society. Yung paulit-ulit lang na culture na makikita ninyo. Sa Pilipinas, paulit-ulit lang yung festa, paulit-ulit lang yung mga celebration ng holidays, diba? So yun yun. Yan, meron tayong socialization, role and status, tatandaan natin. Ayan. Socialization is the process by which one internalizes the norms of his group. Ang social status, yung position in the society. Kasi ang bawat position in the society ay merong kaakibat na privileges and duties. Ang role naman, ano ba yung ina-expect ko sa'yo? Are you a teacher? Sorry. Excuse me. Excuse me. Ayan. So yun nga, yung role natin is the behavior expected of one who occupies a particular status. Kung ikaw ay nasa upper class, ano yung role mo? Kung ikaw nasa middle class, ano yung role mo? Kung ikaw nasa lower class, ano yung role mo? Ang role set naman, related cluster of roles. Ibig sabihin, ikaw, ay ano ba sinabi ko sa'yo? Patayin mo muna yung cellphone mo. Sorry, pinagagalito ko lang yung pamangking ko ang ingin ng cellphone. Okay. So, role set, related cluster of roles. Halimbawa, ikaw, you're not only a father, you're not only a brother, you're not only a teacher. Meron tayong multi, roles na ginagampanan. Yan. Okay? Ang roles kasi pwede siyang ascribe, pwede siyang achieve. Pag sinabi natin na ang role mo ay ascribe, kasama na yan nung pinanganak ka. Like age, sex, class, race, or some other inherited characteristics. Pag sinabi nating achieve, ito yung pinaghirapan mo talaga. Yung tipong dati, hindi ka naman mayaman. As time goes by, nag-aral ka, trabaho ka, umangat ka sa buhay, that is achieve. O kaya nag-asawa ka ng mayaman, that is achieve. Kaya lang pag-ascribe, inborn na kasi yun eh. Di ba? Okay. So meron din tayong social order, deviation, and control. A society must have social order if it is to function smoothly. Pag sinabi natin social order, dapat merong kaayusan. Social deviation arises whenever a person fails or refuses to conform to the unusual norms of the society. Pag social deviation, ibig sabihin, yung mga batas na pinatutupad sa society, hindi mo sinusunod. Pinabali mo. A deviation may be an individual or group decision. A society enforces social control over its members in three principal ways: socialization, social pressure, and social force. Ano ibig sabihin natin dito? Para magkaroon tayo ng kaayusan, kokontrolin natin yung mga tao na nasa ating society. Pag sinabi natin socialization, pakikisamahan natin sila, tuturuan natin sila. Pag social pressure, pipilitin talaga natin sila. It's either pwede silang makulong, di ba? Makasuhan, makulong, di ba? Pag sinabi natin social force, okay, ito yung talaga magiging more on vocal tayo, okay, para sabihin natin yung mga pagkakamali na meron sila. Yan. Meron tayong theories on the cause of deviation. Ito, mapapansin ninyo na kalimitan ng gumagawa ng mali ay yung mga tao sa tingin nila wala na silang pag-asa. And that is anime theory. Ayan. Tignan nyo, pag sinabi nating anime theory. Groups with fewer opportunities to achieve success goals will have greater motivation to violate norms and higher rates of deviance. Kasi wala naman silang choice eh. Kumbaga wala na naman daw kwenta ang kanilang buhay, so hayaan na lang daw gumawa sila ng mali. Subculture theory. Diba? Yung tipo na may mga subgroup kasi naniniwala sila sa kanilang sariling culture, that their culture is different from the general culture. Kaya sila ay nagiging constant deviation. And meron ding differential associational theory. Ano nangyayari dito? Yung pagkakaiba-iba ng pakikisalamuhan natin with other people. Diba? Specific direction of a person's motivation and action depends upon the frequency and intensity of interaction with others. Yung tipo na kaya ka nagagalit, kaya ka gumagawa ng mali, kasi hindi na rin tama yung pakikisalamuhan ng gobyerno sa tao. O kaya the rich or become richer and the poor become poorer, something like that. Diba? Okay, may mga social group tayo composed of 2 or more persons na who share consciousness or membership of interaction. Generally, social groups, regardless of their nature, have the following characteristics. Lagi sila nag-uusap-usap eh. Diba? And they can easily identify their members. Okay, meron silang proseso on how they can recruit new members. They have their goals or purposes. Meron silang hinihingi status or roles of members and means of controlling members. Okay. Meron primary group. Ayan. Siyempre tayo, family naman natin yan eh. Gem and shop, okay, is a social system in which most relationship is personal, traditional, and often both. Kung gesture shop naman ay neither personal attachment nor traditional rights are important. The relationship between people is usually defined in written agreement. Kumbaga ito, non-informal, itong isa is formal. Ito kasi sa family friends natin eh. And informal groups, ito talaga sa trabaho kalimitan, sa mga association. Okay, family and marriage. Okay. Meron tayo dito endogamy, exogamy. So these are different forms of marriage in the Philippines. All over the world naman. Okay, pwede yan. Yung mga endogamy, pagpili kasi na mapapangasawa. Anong pipiliin mo? Kasama mo sa lahi mo or ibang lahi? Kasi pag endogamy, sa lahi mo. Pag exogamy, ibang lahi. Diba? Gusto mo, Amerikano or kung ano man. Tapos, meron tayong forms of marriage. Ang polygamy kasi, ayan, so one man, one woman. Pag polygyny, so pwedeng maraming asawang lalaki, maraming asawang babae. Other basic institutions that we have: economy, government, education, and religion. Okay. Secondary, sports, science, and medicine. Family planning. So nandito yung nilalaman ng ating National Family Planning Program, the Philippine government. Ayan, pasensya na, medyo nagmamadali kasi tayo gawa ng almost an hour na rin yung ating late, ang ating overtime. Nalagay ko na dito yung content ng family planning na meron po tayo. Okay, ayan. So may mga natural family planning method tayo. Abstinence, kung ayaw nyo makipag-sex. Calendar method, may basal body temperature, cervical mucus method. Nandito naman siya. Yan, mga natural planning method, nandito rin. May surgical methods din, yung mga gusto magpa-bisectomy or tubal ligation. Okay, sige. Ayun. So, I think even sobrang overtime tayo in our discussion, you have learned. Kasi this is actually informal naman din. What I mean is that, ang naging discussion kasi natin is sharing of things that usually, okay, part of the licensure examination under social science general education. Diba? So, to those who are enrolled, automatically you will be given these lectures. And actually, these lectures were already sent to Sir Aton. So, bahala na siyang mag-manage. I do not know if Sir Aton is still here. Sir Aton, are you still here? Parang wala si Sir, no? Ayan.
Wala po siya, sir.
Ayan. So, medyo mabilis tayo, pero I think you have learned kahit papaano doon sa mga pinag-usapan natin. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Medyo madami lang talaga to. Babalikan nyo. Okay, it will help you a lot kasi tinan nyo naman yung slides ko. Ang nahirapan kasi ako ditong mag-review sa inyo in a sense na ang dami kasi noong pwede nating pag-usapan, kaya lang we are only limited for 2 hours. Did you get my point? Diba? Kaya medyo mahirap siya in my part. Kaya nagiging tendency, ine-emphasize ko na lang yung talagang kailangan ninyo na usual na lumalabas sa ating board exam. Diba? So in this case, meron tayong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, these are 5 subjects. Basahin nyo lang siya. Sorry. Basahin nyo lang siya kasi informative naman yung content. Kasi lalo na yung general psychology natin at saka Philo of Man, medyo napabilis natin ng kahit papaano. Diba? Okay. So these are just all information that you can use in your examination. Any question, any clarification before we end kasi nga late na tayo ng 1 oras. Katanungan. Pasensya na, Doon sa mga nagko-comment na humihingi ng ating lecture, Sir, Teacher A will, you can talk to Teacher A regarding on this. Kasi si Teacher A yung may control ng ating lectures na ginagawa namin. Sa lahat kasi sinesend namin sa kanya and siya yung nagma-manage. Okay, yung mga enrolled na nasa Zoom, do you have any question? Baka may tanong kayo.
Wala na po, sir.
Wala na po.
Balikan nyo lang yung mga diniscuss natin kasi it will help you a lot. Kasi ito lang din naman yung ginamit namin, ginamit ng mga estudyante ko sa ibang review centers. Okay, by the way, lalo ng mga social sciences, I remember before, doon sa mga review na meron kami, lahat kasi ng nireview ko noon, 3 magkakasunod, lahat kami sa social science ay 100% passing. Okay, doon sa isa naming review center. And we're hoping naman, kayang-kaya nyo naman ito. Ang kulang lang talaga natin ay oras kasi hindi sapat ang 2 hours para pag-usapan natin ng maraming bagay. Okay, thank you. So pasensya na rin sa sipon at ako'y talagang sinisipon. Ewan ko kanina naman wala ito. Na-allergy yata ako sa gabok. Okay, kung wala na kayong tanong, I think we have to end up this discussion or this lecture. Okay na tayo?
Yes po, sir. Okay.
Kasi 9:30 na rin naman, so malalim na ang gabi. Sa mga nanonood, thank you so much for watching. Pasensya na, medyo mabilis din kami. Kasi, 2 hours kasi, kaya medyo minamadali namin ang mga bagay-bagay. Okay. So let us end this session. Thank you so much. And if you have any question, yung ating mga enrolled, if you have any question, so you can ask me and Teacher A. Medyo, pasensya na, medyo mabilis talaga tayo. Okay. Sige, wala nang tanong. So, pwede na siguro nating tapusin yung ating session.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Sige, pwede nang mag-leave. Pwede na kayong mag-leave. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Thank you,
sir.
Thank you, sir. Ayan, so let us stop sharing and end na natin, ha? Okay.
Kapit-bahay lang pala tayo, sir.
Saan po
Kalamba.
kayo? Ay.
Kalamba.
Saan sa Kalamba?
Sa Sirang Lupa po. Kanlubang.
Malapit. Diyan ako nagwo-work full time. City College of Kalamba.
Talaga, sir.
Mm.
Yung po.
Nasa Kalamba ako pag
Government.
weekdays. Yes, Ayan.
Pero
okay.
face-to-face. Face-to-face.
Wala kaming
Or,
face-to-face.
online
Modular.
po.
Modular. Wala kaming online. Modular lang talaga. Okay. Sige. Thank you so much.
Sir.
Okay. See you again next time.
Yes, sir. Thank you po.
Sana bigyan tayo ng yung mga social science major. Sana bigyan tayo ng mahaba-habang oras para mag-review talaga. Kulang kasi yung oras talaga. Okay. Let's end this one. Thank you so much. Okay.